All right. Welcome, everybody, to another wonderful Not Your Status Quo stream. Welcome, fellow nerds, as we like to say. It's good to see you back, Dave and Doug.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
You sound very much like
it's been so long since I last saw the two of you. I feel like it's been literal days.
It seems,
like, I don't know, 3 days?
Seems like forever since we talked Star Wars and Star Wars Celebration.
So you know what we should do? We should talk Star Wars.
I like that.
Yeah, you got some more Star Wars lined up for us?
I have both stars and I have wars.
That's the right way
Wars
to do it.
in the stars.
So we do have some stuff to talk about Star Wars Celebration, but we also want to talk about... Oh, there it is, stats. No, that is not what I wanted.
What? What do we want to talk about?
I was trying to pull some... We also want to talk about Star Wars characters that people would like to see get their own Disney Plus show.
Yes.
And not Dave's cat.
And not Dave's cat, not the Flurkin.
Sorry.
Not the Flurkin.
It's so annoying right now.
We love Dave's cat, but...
Only when it's really cold, right?
Oh.
The old Ace Ventura line. All right, hang on. I'm going to have to go put her in the other room. This is ridiculous.
Okay, no worries.
I do not have...
The cat will be back. Cats love... for some reason, cats love being on Twitch and Zoom and everything.
I do not have the chat right now in my console. So if you could keep an eye on it, Doug, and let us know
absolutely.
what is said, that would be awesome. Appreciate that.
I can do
I
that.
spoke on there already.
What's that?
You don't see what my entry?
I don't see your entry.
That's, well, good, because I was hiding.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
No. Wait, here we go. Nothing?
Hey!
I was
There
just
you go.
telling Doug, Dave, I don't got the chat in my console right now. I think I need to reset OBS to get it, and I'm not going to do that while we're live. So if you guys could just monitor the chat, that would be fantastic. But like I said, we are talking not only the rest of all the stuff from Star Wars Celebration that came out since our last stream a couple days ago, but we're also talking, our question of the night is, what Star Wars character would you like to see get their own Disney Plus show? I know
I think that's a great topic of conversation, because there are a ton of just like not only comic books but expanded universe regular novels, and we've talked about this a ton of times, how Dave Filoni and company, they have no problem dumping out their toy box and reaching into Legends and saying, guess what, this is canon now. And Disney says, hey, if you think it's going to fit, if it's going to work, let it be so. So yeah, I think it's fair game. What do you got?
Jar Jar Binks.
Okay, well, it's a good start. Jar Jar Binks.
You know, we did have somebody in our contest who would they like to see show up in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Did say Jar Jar Binks because they want some character redemption, but I think we've had enough of Jar Jar Binks.
Are we talking regular Jar Jar, Senator Jar Jar, or are we talking Darth Jar Jar?
If it's Darth Jar Jar, let's make it happen. If it's regular Jar Jar or Senator Jar Jar, I'm out.
I never did find out whether that was actually true or not. I remember early days of the internet when, like, my cousin's brother's sister's uncle works for Nintendo kind of rumors where, like, everybody heard them and nothing was, you couldn't fact check anything, but I never did find out. I remember hearing way back when that was something along those lines was George Lucas's original plan. Like, he had this whole arc for Jar Jar, but it tested so poorly after The Phantom Menace aired, and that's why he dialed down on it.
See, I never heard that. I always thought it was just a great theory. If he planned that and then didn't go through with it, he should have, because
it wasn't supposed to be like literal Darth Jar Jar, but he was supposed to be like smarter than he let on.
That would have completely destroyed the character. but
He was
that
already
character's
destroyed.
already destroyed.
Again, I don't know whether that was actually true or not. That I never did fact check it or look into it, so who knows? Man, I cannot believe. I'm sorry, not to veer away. I got to say this, like in the beginning of our stream, I cannot believe we've broken 100 followers already. We are like new on Twitch, and thank you so much, all of you that have been watching us, that are following our channel. That is amazing. I love to see that, and I can't wait to see that number go even higher.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. Join the conversation. If you're out there, if you're lurking, that's cool too. You don't have to, but if you want to join the conversation, we'd certainly appreciate it. Like I said, if you just joined, if you just joined us, we are talking characters we want to see get their own Disney Plus show. Dave said Jar Jar. I personally would like to see Darth Bane.
Darth Bane, okay.
I read the books. It was very interesting. He was the one who developed the rule of two. But what I liked about him and what they could really talk about in the show is he was not like Palpatine. He was not sit back and he was like a physical presence. And he was all about not lurking in the shadows and doing it. He wanted to go after the Jedi. He wanted to do everything possible. And I think it would be nice to see other Sith that have different qualities than Palpatine. I worry that Star Wars is every Sith has to be hiding in the shadows and stuff. And if they could show us someone who's just kind of brute force Sith, I think that'd be kind of cool. And there was a rumor back in the day, and I think Dave Bautista actually talked about it. There was a rumor that Dave Bautista was hired to play Darth Bane for a Disney Plus show. And he said, that's not true, but I would love to do it. So
that would be cool.
That would be fantastic. And that is certainly my pick. There's so many to pick from, and there's so many interesting characters, but it would be nice to see a Sith that's a little different than everything we've seen so far.
So I'm going to have to look this up because I do not remember his name, but I remember there was a entire comic story or possibly a novel. I remember reading it quite a while ago. I mean, one sec. But he was an aide to Darth Vader. That is who I would like to see kind of a show around, is Darth Vader and this guy. It was like they ended up working together so much that Darth Vader actually, for a moment, considered this guy a friend and possibly his only friend in the Empire.
Did a comedy show? Did they hang out at a bar?
Irv Lakoff? Irv Lakoff. He was a lieutenant in the Imperial Army who served as Darth Vader's personal aide for several years. On a mission to Vohai in 19 BBY, Lakoff helped Vader fight the Emperor's hand, impressing the Dark Lord with his courage and loyalty. Then Vader had him cloned as part of a new Imperial project. Oh, Lord. And he took over the training of the 6 clones that were made of him.
Isn't that just the biggest form of flattery? I love you so much, I'm going to clone you 6 times.
You. Well, out of Vader, I would say that's probably the closest you're going to get to flattery.
Yeah.
Hey, he knew his name and he wanted to clone him. That's pretty much, that's best friends forever right there.
Yeah.
Him and Boba Fett, because he takes shit from Boba Fett.
But no, I would actually really like to see something like that because there were rumors a long time ago, and I don't know if they're ever going to, come back around to this, but there was originally supposed to be a Vader series that was going to follow, the Dark Lord in his early days, show him on Mustafar building his castle and hunting down the Jedi. But I think the reason why it hasn't gone anywhere is because the idea of, following around Space Hitler, killing a bunch of Jedi, probably they thought maybe that wouldn't make the best of shows. Like, this would be the hero of the show. Who's going to tune in for that?
Yeah.
So
they could show some of the good that Luke still saw in him.
Right, but I think at the time that they were thinking of, of making the series, the time frame, it would have been shortly after, like a year or so after Revenge of the Sith. He would not have had any good in him yet at that point.
Yeah, I'd like to see, Vader hunting Jedi. If they ended up, I think we talked about this last week because Hayden Christensen had said if he was willing, if they wanted to do it, see him like hunting down Jedi and, the battles that could ensue and him taking him out. That would be.
I think it would be
Dark, but
interesting to see. It would be, yes, it would be very dark, but it would be interesting to see.
And that'd be the kind of show that you can't. It's about the villain, but you can't root for him. You know,
Right.
You're just kind of an observer on the series.
Mm-hmm.
I always try and root for the antagonist in the story, or I mean the protagonist. I'm sorry, and then no matter whose perspective, the protagonist is always the one whose the perspective is on. Right, that's how it's supposed to be. But then I watch a show like say Barry. Now that guy's definitely an antagonist. And then you can't root for him because he's so bad. But it's shown from his perspective, so you have to just sit there and watch. That's what a good Darth Vader show would be like.
Mm-hmm. I guess I kind of feel like that with what do you call it? Breaking Bad.
Yeah, there's no hero there.
Not really, no.
It's just good characters and an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's what it boils down to. It's good characters and an interesting story. And I think a Vader story would be interesting. And I would love to see that lieutenant show up. I would love to see, more interaction, because we get little bits and pieces of that in The Mandalorian and some of these other series and we also saw snippets of it in Andor. And I would actually love a deeper dive into like the workings of the Empire. Like how did it function? What was going on? Like how did it spread so quickly? Because we'll hear about like every now and again that a lot of these people they backed the Empire specifically because it would grant them power. And they were getting kickbacks from it. So I wonder if that was everybody, or if it was like a mix between people who wanted power and people who were like, it's either this or death, or like, what was the deal with that? Like, for instance, in Rogue One, what's his name who helped build the Death Star?
Was it Galen?
Galen Erso?
Yeah, Galen Erso. There you go.
Yeah, Galen Erso. Him, I don't think he wanted to be a part of the Empire. I think it was more of like, I have to do this or they'll kill me and my family.
It was more his family. I think he would have willingly died than build that. He just didn't want anything to happen to his family. Mm-hmm. And I also look at it like that Vader show with that lieutenant could be, interesting, because you read some of those Vader comics early on. Yeah. The Emperor was testing Vader all the time to make sure he was strong enough to be his apprentice. And that would be really cool to see, on the small screen too. It's like he sends him out. He goes, "You tried to kill me or whatever. You survived. You passed the test, Vader. You're okay for now." And it'd be good to see like him if Vader ever actually attempted to overthrow, Palpatine at any time. It was beaten down, or there's a lot they can really go into, because there's not everything is known about that time period between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So they could build on some stuff, even the 10 years between Revenge of the Sith and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Now, speaking of making sure that he was strong, Vader would sometimes do that with himself. And another one of my favorite stories was when Vader asked Tarkin to set up a team of his best men to hunt him. That was an awesome story, and I would love to see that put on the screen.
I would be down for that. That would be like a two-parter to end the season, and it would just be fantastic.
Especially for the people that haven't read that comic. I mean, just watching like a robot man hiding in the woods, like peering through trees, and all these Imperial guys like running and chasing after them. Be like, I don't remember the story being like that. What the hell is going on? And then seeing Tarkin, like, I guess even CGI Tarkin. I'm not sure how they would pull that one off, but
no more CGI Tarkin.
No more CGI Tarkin. Get a real actor. Okay.
Even though Kathleen Kennedy has said they're not going to. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm sorry but she said they're not going to recast anybody again.
Oh.
Because talking about Han Solo. But it was funny because immediately after that, she said they're still moving forward with the Lando series for Disney Plus. But she said Donald Glover is a very busy man. It's like, I thought you weren't going to recast anybody anymore.
Yeah, right.
So you won't do Han Solo, but
okay,
Donald
but
Glover.
Maybe that's not considered recasting because he was already cast as young Lando. So They're just not going to do any more recasting.
Which I think is a mistake, unless they don't, if there's a story to tell with Princess Leia or Moff Tarkin or things like that, recast. People are forgiving. How many James Bond has there been? No one's like, this isn't James Bond. It's supposed to be Sean Connery.
I like it. I think when you get different actors, sometimes it gives you the opportunity to tell a slightly different story.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the people who's played the Joker. I mean, you can have a little different take on it. It can still be good unless you're Jared Leto. And, you're going to get, it's funny because we're getting way off target. I was watching Spider-Man No Way Home the other night. Kids went to bed and I was just sitting on the couch and I turned it on and I'm thinking, Marvel messed up by having, oh my God, I can't think of his name. The Green Goblin guy, what? William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
By having William Dafoe do that again, because no one is going to be able to beat his performance. It's like they're not going to be able to have Norman Osborn and Green Goblin in the MCU because everyone will be like, it's lacking. But I'm still glad they did it because that was tremendous.
He's so perfect for the Green Goblin role, just like Mark Hamill was so good at voicing the Joker, and that's why they kept bringing him back. And even though he kept saying, nope, this is my last time, not doing it again. Okay, we got this video game, we need the Joker. All right, but this is my last time. But the thing is, like, both of them are so good at, and I mean this with respect in the best way possible, both of them are so good at just, like, chewing the scenery and being so over the top. And that's what those type of characters need. In fact, there was an anime that came out several years ago called Death Note, and it was about a kid who had found a notebook that if he wrote somebody's name in it, that person would die. And the creature that brought him the Death Note was this like demon from another realm, and it was just because he was bored. And when they ended up, Netflix made a live action adaptation of it, and they had Willem Dafoe play this demon because, I mean, obviously. He would be perfect for the role of this psychotic, like, I don't mind watching a human kill, like, hundreds of people because I'm just bored.
Hold on, where's my notebook? Dave Kinchis.
Oh, crap.
No.
Well, so the thing about that, not to get too deep into it, first off, the Netflix adaptation was terrible, and Willem Dafoe is maybe the only good part about it. When you take a well-known story and you try to really, really alter it, keeping in mind that Death Note started out as a comic or manga, if you will, in Japan. Then it got adapted into an anime. And then eventually it got adapted, like I said, into this live-action thing on Netflix.
It was on Netflix. My daughter watched it.
Did she?
Yeah. She had me watch a few with her.
Ah, okay. But yeah, I personally, I didn't care for it. I didn't think it did very well. They really changed the story too much, like in a bad way. And that's always a fear that I have of, like, comic book stories coming to, movies. It's how you get sentient clouds. But yeah, back to my point about Willem Dafoe. You need people like that for those type of roles. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it would be difficult to bring Norman Osborn or Green Goblin unless they found somebody else like that who could really bring about the craziness of that kind of character.
Well, but also be able to have that sort of those moments of sanity with him where
yes.
He had that range. I still am in awe
really
of what he did for No Way Home. That was.
There was a video that somebody had made on YouTube a while back where they had CG'd some Joker makeup on his face. And he was just sitting there in the video, just, being Willem Dafoe. And I was like, holy shit, he would make a good Joker. And that was before Joaquin Phoenix was cast.
He would make an excellent Joker. There's a commercial that was sent, it was in my feed on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It was him. All it was saying that, so a lot of you out there think I'd be a perfect Joker. You have a problem with my mental state? Or something like that. That's pretty funny. It's not.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, Dave. Is there anyone outside of Jar Jar that you would like to see get a Disney Plus show?
No, I think they're doing a good job. I would
Oh.
have said Ahsoka, but they got that going, and but everything they seem to get going, I'm interested in, at least until I watch it. Like Obi-Wan, it's kind of bland for me, but we'll see if it picks up.
The first
Welcome to Terrible
episode.
Gaming. How are you? And he wants to know, can they beat Goku? Who are you referring to? Who can beat Goku? See what he was talking
Darth
about.
Vader would beat him. Probably Luke Skywalker.
Luke, I don't know. I don't think Luke could.
At the height of his power?
Darth Vader might be able to.
Emperor.
Well,
He would
the way he
destroy
was
the
in
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, yeah.
He says, hello, everyone.
TG, welcome, sir.
Obi-Wan. Oh, he wants to know if Obi-Wan could beat Goku. I don't know about that. Goku is considered to be on par with Superman.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan always finds a way to win. Like when he was fighting Darth Maul after his master was beaten. When he was fighting, I almost said Count Dooku, but General Grievous. It always seems like he's less powerful than these people, but he always finds that way to win.
That's because he doesn't care about the outcome, He's
True.
just like, I'm fighting here. If I have to leave and not finish it, oh well.
It's a good
I
point.
suppose that's a fair point. All right. Okay.
He's trolling us.
he's messing with us. Okay. Were you here when we were talking the wonderfulness that was Netflix's Death Note? I was telling these guys how they definitely need to watch it. It was amazing.
I don't believe that's what you said. I think you're trying to trick us into it. I mean, I'm already falling so far behind on shows since
He loves it
Stranger
like
Things
he loves-
season 4 is like 47 hours long.
Oh, I get okay. I don't think this is spoiling it because it's been all over the internet so far. Apparently, season 4 is not where it ends. I thought that was it.
It isn't. This is part 1.
No.
Part 2 is coming July.
Yep. Yeah, I just found that out because I finally finished season 4, or part 1, I guess, today.
What did you think?
And it was good. It's really good. They finally give some answers, which is, I'm sure J.J. Abrams is probably watching like, wait, you're supposed to do that? You're not just supposed to keep asking more questions? Huh.
So it's not like Lost, where they just, we don't know where this show's going to end, so we're just going to keep introducing new mysteries and not
Right, yeah.
ever solve anything.
Mm-hmm.
What
Does
is
David
going on?
Harbour have
Terrible
a
Gaming.
Russian accent?
What's that?
Does David Harbour have a Russian accent in the show?
No.
It's just
No,
funny.
he's
he had a
just,
Russian accent for Black Widow.
So David Harbour, he spends actually most of this season just getting tortured. Like, I feel so bad for the dude. Like, his character.
Hey, spoiler alert, man.
You pretty much saw it coming. It was in all the trailers.
That's true.
But he's in Russia.
He is in Russia.
See the connection? My brain
I see
makes-
the connection. I get it. I didn't like Black Widow.
Oh, I didn't either.
It was a bad movie.
I wouldn't say it was bad. Average. There's some good moments.
Oh,
There's
I would
some
say it was bad.
weird decisions made.
I don't understand. I will still argue
I
this
would
thing,
say
but
it's
I know
bad.
you guys are probably tired of hearing it. I don't understand how Black Widow, a human, was able to fall from a giant space station tower thing and take an explosion in the face and be like, all right, I'm cool, let's go. We're getting up, we're walking, let's go.
Because she's done it before, man. She can do it.
Pure will.
Yeah. And that's why I appreciated, and that's why I said this back when we were watching the Hawkeye series. I appreciated that, like, when he got hit, he felt it. he's just a dude.
Just a guy that shoots arrows.
Yep.
She was just getting ready for her little roll on Vormir.
Was it that he said in Age of Ultron to Quicksilver?
No, it wasn't the Quicksilver. It was Scarlet Witch. He's like,
To Scarlet Witch,
I know
okay.
this is crazy. There's killer robots outside. I'm just a guy that shoots arrows. But if you step out that door,
Uh-oh.
you're an Avenger.
We lost you for a
Uh-oh.
second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you froze.
Oh, my internet is unstable again.
Uh-oh. Oh, you. Okay. All right. I think you're back.
I'm back and better than ever. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Did you guys hear my Hawkeye quote? Or did it
No.
when I cut out?
That's when you cut out.
He said, I know none of this makes sense. There's flying killer robots everywhere. We're floating on a piece of land or whatever, and I got a bow and arrow. If you step outside that door, you're an Avenger.
There you go. Exactly.
But you're right.
I think-
It is always better when characters like Hawkeye and everything, when they get
It
hurt,
needs
it's
to be a bit
visible.
more grounded.
Yeah. You need to slow them down. They need to fight through it. And that was one of the things about Black Widow that was kind of disappointing is, all this stuff was happening and it was never slowed her down. She was still 100%. That just didn't make much sense.
It wasn't realistic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't realistic for a superhero movie even, I guess.
For a superhero movie about a superhero with no real superpowers.
Yeah.
Now, if they come back and try to retcon it and say, oh, she had a version of the super soldier serum, then it's
Okay, sure.
Come on. No.
Oh, that was one of her dreams. That wasn't really her.
That was something that I appreciated in Shazam, that they were kind of making fun of that whole thing, like with superhero fights. I loved when they were flying in the sky and the bad guy is giving off his whole spiel and he's holding, what? What are you saying? I can't hear you. We're flying in the air. You're so far away from me. And
We're flying faster than the speed of sound.
And it's like,
He says he's excited for the boys, by the way.
Oh, God, yeah. 3 episodes on Friday. That is going to be fantastic.
So TG wants to know what we know about the Thor villain, Gore the God Killer. He's never heard of him.
Oh, Gore the God Butcher. He is... I've read all of the Jason Aaron comics. He was basically a guy with a wife and kids on this planet where the gods were gone. And he basically was praying every day, and his wife died, and his kids died, and everyone was starving, and he was actually cast out of his group because he no longer believed in the gods. And then he came across, what gave him all of his power was the Necro Sword, which is part of Noel, the symbiote god, which I don't know if they're going to do that in Thor Love and Thunder. But basically he got all of his power from Noel, who was like Venom's god and god of all the symbiotes. And that's when he started just... And the best thing about the run for Gore, the first run for Gore the God Butcher, they were telling it in 3 different time zones. They were telling it when Thor first ran into him when he was a young god before he even had Mjolnir. And then they were telling it like present day. And then they were telling it in the future when actually there's some time travel involved, and young Thor and now Thor travel to the future where Gore is working on this god bomb that's going to destroy all gods. But basically he just got so fed up that the gods wouldn't answer prayers and help people that he decided to kill them all.
The universe would be better off without them.
Yep.
And what's his saying?
This is my vow. All gods will die.
This is my
And
vow.
we do
All
see
gods will
Thor as
die.
a child in this movie, so he might run into him as a child, after all.
That's true. And I was trying to think. I don't think they'll do the time travel thing in this film, only because they did
Probably
the
not.
game
That's
and everything.
probably a little too convoluted.
I think that's why we got Jane, Jane Foster as the mighty Thor, and then we got Thor Odin's son. And I wonder if we're going to see, because there's been a lot of little parts in the
Frog
trailer
Thor.
where it looks like someone is kind of pushed out or special effects out, a little trailer trick as we like to call them. And I wonder if that could be.
Go ahead.
Oh my God, I forgot his name now. He's
Who,
like
huh?
the horse guy,
The horse guy.
the horse Thor. Oh my God.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
But yes, to answer your question, TG, yeah, that is the sword in the trailer. They see him, picking up. That's the sword that he's using.
Well, here's what I'm worried about: is Jane Foster gonna be from another dimension or another universe or something? And
I
that's
don't think
why
so.
they don't want to explain her backstory.
I don't think so.
I know his name now. I remembered it while I was
Okay.
trying to look up. Beta Ray Bill. He
Beta Ray
basically-
Bill. Okay.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, did you just say that?
Yeah, I did. You didn't hear me?
No,
I
I,
guess
I didn't
was
hear
looking
you
at my
either.
phone. Oh, maybe that's why I remembered it before I looked him up on my phone, because I heard you say it. But yeah, I think there's a very good chance that some of those scenes with Korg and Thor, where they're like pushed off to this side of the screen and all of this is wide open, I think Beta Ray Bill is going to be there. And I think he's going to be like the three Thors are going to be Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor, Thor Odin's son, and then Beta Ray Bill. But hasn't been confirmed. It's just my, wild imagination.
So what is her backstory going to be, do you think, then? Are we going to go through it is what I mean? Or are we just going to have it explained?
I'm sure there's going to be some explanation. There's got to be at least something. You know what? I'm going to... You can reel me in, Dave, if you think it's necessary. I am going to backtrack on that. Maybe she is a variant. Maybe.
I don't think she's going to be a variant. I think it's going to be something along the lines, because in the comics, for those of you that don't know, Jane Foster had cancer when Mjolnir decided to choose her to be Thor, or basically choose her to be worthy. I think something is going to happen where she has cancer in this movie and she travels to New Asgard. And that's where the remnants of Mjolnir are. And it's going to reform and choose her to be
it
Thor.
was the correct Mjolnir, so yeah, it could be.
As long as we can see that and they don't just explain it.
I'm sure there'll be some explanation. They're not going to just like drop her in and be like, well, this is it now. Like,
yeah, it just came to me. I was standing there and now I got this thing,
Although that would be in perfect like MCU sort of Taika Waititi sort of humor where and then I grabbed Mjolnir and now I'm Thor. But that's it. That's the whole story.
That was worthy, man.
Yeah, that's what happened. No grand battles. No, that's pretty much it. No, I thought the story would be longer.
Just flew to my hand.
That's it.
Now I'm here, and now you are too. All right.
Okay. Well,
now we're all caught up.
Let's fight.
All right. Well, you know what? We do have some other news from, I don't know if there's any other questions. I'm going to move the picture over to the Mandalorian Season 3. We did have
Season 3.
some news from Dave Filoni. This quote kind of cracked me up. He was asked where he sees the future of Star Wars television, and all he said was more.
More. We are getting a lot of stuff like that, more than what I expected this year alone, and we're going to be busy.
We definitely are. He was also talking about Luke training Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett, and he said, in that time period, it makes sense to have Luke train Grogu, not just because he's a great character, but the way he thinks about the Force, his philosophy. I thought that was an interesting quote because Luke at that time was very positive. He wasn't, sunk down into the depths like we saw in The Last Jedi. So it's interesting to say, and I wonder where they're going to go with Grogu as a Jedi, or as a Force user, I should say, because he's not really a Jedi. Because, he did. It was funny because he made a big sacrifice in the Book of Boba Fett, a lot like Mando made. Mando made a sacrifice to save Grogu by taking off his helmet and going against what he believed was the creed and the right way to be a Mandalorian. He was willing to sacrifice that for Grogu. And then Grogu, on the other hand, sacrificed, becoming a Jedi and Yoda's lightsaber, on the same. So they both made these sacrifices, and I'm kind of interesting to see where this all leads to in Season 3.
I wonder if Grogu actually understands that that's what he did. Like, I wonder if he understands. He may be 50, but he's still like a kid in his species. He's still like a child. So I wonder if he really grasps the gravity of the choice of the decision that he made. Because, to go back to what we had talked about at that time when the episode aired, I think that was kind of a cruel choice for Luke to force on him. Like, you have to choose one or the other. And that was very dogmatic Jedi. That was something that, like, clearly he read about this stuff in the Jedi books, and at that point he was like, we got to stick to it. This is the way the Jedi are. This is the way that I've got to be if I'm going to train new Jedi. And I really wish that he hadn't done that, but I get that's how Luke was at that point in his life.
Yeah,
Yoda kind of did the same thing to him. He was like, don't go to your friends.
Yeah.
Finish your training.
And it's a shame that he didn't learn, it took him longer to learn that point.
I honestly look at that stuff. You look at all of the stuff that we've seen outside of Obi-Wan, who was very much did the, the right path that the Jedi said. Everyone who broke away from what the Jedi did was better off for it, like Ahsoka and Luke kind of didn't follow the creed so much.
Even Qui-Gon.
Kanan Jarrus, Qui-Gon. And Dave Filoni had even said at one point that if Qui-Gon hadn't have died, Anakin would have never went to the dark side. And I thought that was interesting. It's like, and I hope they're going to learn this. And I hope if a new Jedi Order ever forms in the future, if we ever get to that part, post whatever that last movie was, I can't remember. There was a movie of some point. But if they get past that,
Rise of something. There's a lot of sand or something.
Rise of Gru.
Rise of the Sand. Yeah, I think that was it.
It was just the title was Sand with like 16 A's. Sand.
It's so coarse, and I hate it.
It gets in everything.
See, and that was, you think about it. That was a mistake the rebels made in The Empire Strikes Back. They should have went to the desert planet, not Hoth. Because Vader would have went there. Or he would have been more
angry. An issue with snow and ice.
He was probably hot in that armor. And going to Hoth, he's like, it's pretty nice. I like this.
So that's what Obi-Wan should have said to Luke. Not Luke, use the Force. Luke, go to a sand planet. He hates it. Really? That's it? That's all you have to do?
Throw sand at him. He'll break down.
No, it's in. I can't breathe.
Well, I heard, and now tell me if I'm right, Keith. Did they announce that it's been approved for season 4?
You are correct. Jon Favreau said that The Mandalorian has been renewed for season 4, and he's already at work on it. All of the photography and filming is done for season 3. It's all in post-production, and he has started working on season 4.
I can't wait. That's awesome.
I know. It's especially when there's a season 4, it helps them, write stories and know what they can sort of leave little trails for to pick up later on. When they know it's coming back, they're not worried about, we got to wrap all this up in a nice, neat bow. They really have the ability.
Yeah, you can have cliffhangers,
Yep. They did it so well in, Dave's favorite show, Smallville.
I was trying not to bring it up.
I had 40 minutes on the bet, so I brought it up. Does that count? Did I win?
You son of a...
Did I leave Grogu at the warehouse? I think I did.
Oh, you might have.
Yeah. You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then now, here's my favorite quote of all of Star Wars Celebration. Giancarlo Esposito was joking about Moff Gideon harming Grogu, and he said, "I will squash that little bug-eared child."
Oh, I bet the audience was like, boo.
I am glad that he is going to play a role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
They could have just left him off after that,
See, he should make a prison break.
I'm sure he's going to have followers who are going to help get him out because he is such a charismatic leader.
Maybe that's how.
He should go against Thrawn.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to see some Imperial infighting between Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Moff Gideon. That would be fantastic. And then he also he was talking about Moff Gideon's backstory, and he said Favreau and Filoni haven't filled him in on all the characters' full history, but he said, and I quote, "They give me hints, and then I let my imagination soar and fill in the rest."
Yeah. He's really good at that, too.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen him. He was in my favorite movie of all time. Do you guys know what my favorite movie of all time is?
The Incredible Shrinking Woman.
In the time that I've known you. Let's see if either of you know.
X-Men Apocalypse.
No. It's not a superhero movie.
Oh.
I don't know. What is it?
It's The Usual Suspects.
Oh. That is a great movie.
That's the first time I saw Giancarlo Esposito.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he was a detective in that movie.
I've not seen that movie, so I didn't know he was in it.
Never seen it?
No.
I will refrain from further comment because I don't want to ruin it for you.
I almost gave away a huge spoiler for it, and I'm glad I kept my mouth shut. Doug, if you can find it streaming on something, watch it. I think you will enjoy it. Even though Kevin Spacey.
What's like the basic plot?
a guy is brought in for questioning, and he basically starts spilling his guts about everything that happened and who the real ringleader of all this is. And it is
all right.
very
like
well
some
done.
kind of murder or something happened?
Yeah, a bunch, but
Yeah.
that isn't the mysterious part.
You need to watch it. We don't want to give it. It's better going in not knowing anything more about it, because that's how I saw it, and I was just like, I couldn't.
Yeah,
pull my eyes
let's
from
check
it.
it out.
Sorry.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
All right, well, I will go to my local family video and
Don't.
I'm sure it's on one of the streaming services.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere.
I'll go
Then-
to.
Do we have any more Star Wars news?
We do. We have a bunch.
Oh,
I also
okay.
got a bunch of stuff. So next, Katie Sackhoff was joking about Bo-Katan's mood towards Mando and the Darksaber in season 3. She said her head is still attached to her body. And Favreau jumped in to clarify it's a nod to the
Spoilers.
past Mandalorian Death Watch leader he voices, Pre Vizsla, who was beheaded with the Darksaber by Maul.
Yeah. Right,
Which-
in that show that was for kids. Yeah.
Yes, I know.
That's what I keep telling my friends who don't watch animation. I'm just like, it's not for kids. It's just animated. That's the only difference. It's got some deep plot points.
Yeah. Well, that's why Hayden Christian went back and he watched it to help kind of,
Good for him.
figure out his character a little bit better. Going into reprising Darth Vader, he said he wanted to get it right, and he said he is now a fan of both Clone Wars and Rebels.
Which is good, because those are both excellent shows. And then the really big news, or not the really big news, the really big thing that happened, and this was Saturday night, was an expanded version of the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. And here's the big part. You guys ready? I don't know if you saw this. Babu Frick, or the same species, that tiny guy from that movie that I always forget the name of, The Rise of Gru, appears.
Oh, the little dude who resets C-3PO?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That was the only redeeming quality in that whole movie was that little guy.
Let's go with that.
I really hope he has a pretty big role in it, because that would be nice. Because he could be very, helpful to Mando and everybody. And then there was an aerial shot of the ruins of Mandalore City. We see the armorer club someone in the head with her forge tool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see...
Which wouldn't be the first time she's done that.
True, that's her go-to move. And then we see
Yeah,
Paz,
she can take care of
Vizsla,
herself.
and the other watch members firing heavy blasters upward. Which, sadly, they have not released this online yet, which is very disappointing.
Yeah. I assume maybe tomorrow or something.
I don't think they're going to do it. I think if they were going to release it, they probably already would have done it. And this is just something they're like, well, you want to see stuff like this, come to Star Wars Celebration, because they probably make major bucks with the people there and selling things and all that other stuff. So,
As we know, Disney does need money. They are hurting for cash right now.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And unfortunately,
That's why I create Disney.
we did see the shorter sizzle reel of The Mandalorian, which someone leaked. And we did get to see the leaked Ahsoka footage that was shown because someone leaked it. But this was not leaked. I think they cracked down on phones for this one or did something, but no one has gotten it out into the internet as of yet, the interwebs, which is disappointing because I'd love to see it. Even, it's so funny, like the Ahsoka thing, and we're not going to show it here because we don't want any copyright strikes or anything like that, but it was terrible. It's like, it's a camera, so the footage is only this big on the screen, and they're lowering it like someone's walking by. They don't want the phone to be seen up, and the sound is terrible, but it's still great to see because, we'll get to the stuff we saw in Ahsoka, and we'll do it right now.
Whoa, what just happened?
So what we learned on Saturday from this is that, for one, Chopper, the astromech droid from Rebels, is joining the Ahsoka cast, which is fantastic.
Oh,
So he is still around.
Yep.
yeah, he's probably
Excellent.
still in bad shape.
And is he still going to be murdering everything?
We hope so. That was what was best about him.
The only character with a higher death count than the entire Rebel Alliance.
Hey, it's got to be him. He's free to be whoever he wants to be, even if he is a droid.
That's right. Let him be
Okay,
him, Doug. Stop trying to reel him in, man.
The two on the Emperor's Most Wanted list: Luke Skywalker for destroying the Death Star, and Chopper for killing more people that were on the Death Star.
We'll find out that Chopper killed the Hand of the Emperor and like tons of Inquisitors and stuff. We gotta stop this damn droid. What is going on with you people?
How does he keep escaping? It's just a droid.
Use an EMP for God's sakes. How does this keep happening? And then we didn't see, but what was shown at Star Wars Celebration was the Ahsoka trailer. And we saw Ahsoka on the Bridge of the Ghost, which, as you know, is Hera Syndulla's ship from Star Wars Rebels. And we see Hera Syndulla herself, which I'm wondering, we know that Mary, what's her name? Mary, what am I bad with names now? Obi-Wan's wife in real life.
Mary
the
Elizabeth
Huntress.
Winstead.
Yes, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is on this show. We don't know who she is playing. And supposedly you never saw Hera's face. So I wonder if she is playing Hera or if she's playing for someone else.
She'd make a good Twi'lek.
She would make a great Twi'lek. And then we saw, basically, not us, once again, I shouldn't say we, what was shown at Star Wars Celebration.
We are a hive mind. What you see, we see.
The royal we. Then we saw the live-action version of the final shot of Rebels, where Sabine Wren is looking at the mural of Ezra Bridger. And then we also confirmed that Sabine is going to be played by Natasha Liu Bordizzo, which we talked about a year ago when this was first rumored. But it has now been confirmed by Lucasfilm, so that's good. That was not a leak we had or anything, but we had heard from other leakers, and we shared it. And people were jumping all over us on Facebook saying it's not true, stop spreading rumors. And it ended up being true, which is good. Because I think she'll be good.
Sandra Walker has arrived.
Yep. He says, "Greetings, fellow Blue Star Ointment customers."
Not sure what that means.
I mean, one of you understands that? No? Okay. Well, all right. Welcome, Tundra Walker. Glad to have you. We are talking Star Wars. We're in the middle of talking about Ahsoka. We just got done talking a little bit about the Mandalorian. Have you watched any of the Star Wars series? Do you have any favorites? The other thing that we were talking about is which Star Wars character would you like to see, whether it's from the comics, the books, the movies in the past? Who would you like to see show up in a Disney Plus series or have their own Disney Plus series? So we're talking about that right now.
And the one thing, while he's typing, I can also comment, I love that they recreated that final scene of Rebels, because remember, it was about a year ago or so when Dave Filoni said, we've never said what time period that scene took place in. So that could be taking place after The Mandalorian Season 2. Which is great.
Yeah, they were kind of vague on that, because I remember that last scene, you're seeing Ahsoka, she's like holding a staff and everything, and it's like, okay, that doesn't look like the middle of a war. What's going on? When is this?
Yeah, it was more like Ahsoka the White. She was like Gandalf in that scene.
The White.
No, you shall not pass.
Tundra Walker says, I can't believe they haven't had Qui-Gon on yet.
He is coming. I guarantee you. What's going to happen is, he's been so out of tune with the Force that is the more he uses it, the more in tune he gets with it. He'll be able to talk to the ghost of Qui-Gon here coming up. They didn't want to rush it. They wanted him to have to work for it to get that. But I know it hasn't been confirmed yet. But Liam Neeson
I think
is showing up.
it's almost been, because I don't think otherwise they would have shown that scene in the recap in Obi-Wan Kenobi. They specifically chose certain scenes from Revenge of the Sith to, I think, help set up the Obi-Wan series. And one of the scenes they showed was Yoda saying, I can teach you how to commune with your old master. Yeah. And Obi-Wan says, Qui-Gon?
That was a good Ewan McGregor impression.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty much them. That's their way of saying, yeah, he's going to show up.
And
he's still working on it.
And it would honestly be pretty cool if Qui-Gon got his own show. Maybe when Obi-Wan was a Padawan of some sort, something along those lines. I think that'd be kind of cool. Because you can't get enough Qui-Gon Jinn.
All right, so we got a question in the chat. Do we feel like they need to fix the continuity issue with Ben's falling robes on the Death Star versus Qui-Gon being cut in half? I don't believe that's a continuity issue, actually, because I don't believe at that time Qui-Gon was... I don't believe that he purposefully was allowing himself to be absorbed by the Force at that moment. I don't think he expected to die, whereas Obi-Wan did expect to die, and so did Luke. So they both gave themselves to the Force in their respective scenes when they vanished. Qui-Gon, I don't think he did, but he did figure out how to commune as a Force ghost, I think, as we're going to find out. So I don't think it was a continuity issue. I just think it was a matter of Obi-Wan expecting death and kind of accepting it and becoming one with the Force, whereas Qui-Gon, he just got cut in half.
Well, he got
Or
stunned.
stabbed, yeah.
He got stunned
Stabbed.
and then stabbed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that answered whoever asked that, because I don't think it's a continuity. I'm more concerned with Hayden Christensen or Anakin Skywalker showing up as a Force ghost, because that seemed more like a light side power. But I guess he was a Jedi long enough that he could have been able to do that.
Yeah, that's a big argument that you'll always see on like Star Wars forums or in Facebook groups or whatever, and people saying, arguing whether at the end, if he should show up as a Force ghost, first off, but second, if we accept that he is, should he show up as Hayden Christian, or should he show up as the actor who ended up originally playing him in as a Force ghost at the end?
Well, they changed it in the new ones,
Well, the argument seems to be that from one half of the people, some people say, well, he should be Hayden Christensen because that was when he was still, he was still a light side user. He was still, a part of the light side of the Force. So therefore, that's how he sees himself prior to becoming Darth Vader. Other people argue, well, because he returned to the light side, he should look like an older version of himself. I'm more along, I would say Hayden, only because I don't think he knew what he looked like. I don't think he would have thought to himself, okay, well, if I hadn't been burned in lava and had all of my hair and limbs fried off and everything, I think I would have probably been a portly gentleman about 45 years old. And
if you get
here's my question. I have a question.
Sure.
Does it only work for the light side? I mean, if it does, it's obviously not going to have Darth Vader showing up as a Force ghost. They don't show dark side Force ghosts, right?
Right.
So,
well, we did actually.
Oh, I was going to say, well, then it would be Hayden Christensen would be right, because that's when he turned to the dark side. That's when he was a Jedi on the light side of the Force.
Because I forgot, in the Clone Wars, Darth Bane showed up to Yoda.
Oh.
As a Force ghost.
Okay.
So I guess it isn't just the light side power.
Oh, you're right. You're talking about the series. Yeah, you're right.
I forgot about that, because what I was going to say is I can't imagine that they would have researched that or looked into it, because the Sith were all about living. They were all about, surviving. That's why Palpatine was looking to find a way to transfer his soul and his powers into another body rather than, welcoming death.
All with Grogu's blood.
Mm-hmm. Either that or I don't know. What exactly was his plan again in that movie that, God, what is its name? What was that movie?
Rise of
anyway,
Gru.
Yeah. He had some sort of plan, and I think it was somewhere between make several clones of myself, also lure Rey to me because I want her to kill me or I want to kill her, or both. I don't know.
Come on, that was a masterpiece. Leave it alone.
Have a huge Imperial Navy built on the outskirts of the Outer Rim with no one finding out. And
Oh god, the more
Under
we
the
dig into
water.
it, like, the worse it gets.
People just
that was
disappearing
JJ
from
in
their
his
races
prime.
to work on these stupid things.
That was JJ Abrams just sitting there like, mystery, mystery, mystery. I don't need to explain it. Come on, let's go.
By the way, this is off topic, and shockingly, we keep going there. I was reading an article that Warner Brothers is very disappointed in J.J. Abrams because
Gee, really?
they were like, we want you to do all this stuff. He's like, yeah, I'll do it all. And like, nothing is getting completed. It's all, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this. It's almost like how WB operates anyway. They announce 7,000 things, and then, you might see one down the line. So I'm kind of shocked they're upset with him because he just seems to be following the WB's plan.
He's following the status quo.
That's right. I thought that was funny. And then we do have one.
So Thunder Walker says, worse fail. R.A. Salvatore dropping a moon on Chewbacca or J.J. Abrams dropping 7, 8, and 9.
I think it's worse. 7, 8, 9. Because at least the R.A. Salvatore Star Wars book is no longer canon.
Terrible Gaming says probably not his fault. Probably not JJ's fault. I don't know. I put a lot of it on him because, I mean, yeah, I do believe that there was probably a lot of interference from Disney for sure. I'm sure they probably wanted what was safe, especially with the first movie, episode 7. I think they wanted him to make something that would be like
familiar to fans.
Familiar. We're gonna remind.
Oh, it was familiar, all right.
Of the original trilogy. We're gonna make them feel safe. We're gonna reintroduce all their favorite characters. And so, yeah, I do believe there probably was a little bit of interference from Disney, but at the same time, they wouldn't have chosen JJ if they wouldn't have, known already this is a type of director that he is, and this is what he's going to give us. He's going to give us basically what we want. And so I do still put a lot of blame on him because that is the type of director that he is. You see that in a lot of his other works. Like, I'm not joking when I say he's a master of putting forth questions and mysteries, but he never really follows through. He's terrible at the follow-through. He can't seem to answer any of the questions that he proposes.
I was going to say, he's so good at creating these mysteries and getting your interest.
So he'll hook you in.
He writes himself into a corner. He's like, I don't know how to answer this.
And he's just like, yeah. So
we just leave that open-ended.
Okay, maybe what they could have done, what if they would have had JJ and M. Night Shyamalan work together?
What a twist.
Okay, here's the mystery. All right, pass it off to M. Night. M. Night says, okay, but here's the twist. Ray was Palpatine all along.
I need to find that clip of from Robot Chicken where he's like, what a twist. And then we got two more little bits of information. But the next bit
two more
is a new animated series for Star Wars, Tales of the Jedi. Not to be confused with Young Jedi Adventures. But this is a new animated series that's going to return.
Oh, yes. I wanted to
Matt
talk about
Lanter, as well as Ashley Eckstein, come back as Ahsoka and Anakin Skywalker. And we're supposedly going to get Mace Windu stories, and we're going to get Qui-Gon Jinn stories. So there's going to be quite a bit. And actually, they showed footage of this Ahsoka as a baby when she first started showing some powers, and the Jedi came to take her. So I think that sounds pretty good. This is, more along the lines of the Clone Wars and Rebels, and not the Young Jedi Adventures, which we know is, geared towards kids, get them groomed.
What kind of
early.
animation is it?
It's definitely in the style of Clone Wars.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. I hope they have good stories.
I hope they do. I think they will. I am definitely looking forward to this. I did see some clips of it already, and I'm excited for it because I always welcome a little bit more backstory of a lot of these characters. So yeah, I can't wait for that to air.
Yeah, personally, I'm getting a little tired of the going back in time stuff. Just take the story forward.
Yeah,
because there's so many stories that they could do. I mean,
I agree, but as long as they're going to do it, may as well be, I don't know, done well, I suppose.
Yeah, Yeah, as long as they do it
Yeah.
well and tell interesting
Is this
stories.
Filoni? Did you say this was Filoni?
It is. But,
Yeah.
well, he's
Oh, yeah.
producing it. I don't know if he's doing all the writing and everything, but he's definitely producing it.
I bet your last one is the Bad Batch, isn't it?
How did you know? Actually wanted to get that. I forgot to grab
Thunder
the-
Walker wants to know, how do you animate baby Ahsoka hair? They're just little nubs.
Oh, that's funny.
Let me see. Do we have an image of that? Let's see if I can find something.
I do have the trailer lined up too. I'm just trying to get the logo.
Oh, for the tails?
Oh, yeah, there she is. Okay. Oh, yeah, it is little nubs, basically.
Nub. Wait, there's no points for that. Sorry.
There's that one when she was, I think, getting possibly taken. I don't know.
What are you showing me here?
Thank you, Reddit.
Let me get that up here in a second for everyone to see.
Yeah, that hair's not bad.
Thunder
Just
Walker
go
says
through
they
it.
got to merchandise her like they did Grogu. Oh, you know they will. You know they will. They love their cute characters. They that's why they push the hell out of Grogu, push the hell out of Groot. Anything that is cute and has big, happy-looking eyes, they're gonna. If they could somehow make cute baby Luke, which I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that, or maybe a Leia doll. They're gonna make a Leia doll. They're gonna market the shit out of 10-year-old Leia. Come on, they've got to.
And I just moved over to that first picture from Doug where
All
we
right.
see baby Ahsoka. I'm getting the other one lined up here.
Baby Snoke. Baby Snoke. Oh boy. Yeah, can you guys see that all? Oh, okay. That's a good picture.
Some people were never babies.
Some people, that is true. Based on what we saw in that one movie that we don't speak of, and also in scenes of The Mandalorian, I think they grew him as an adult. I don't believe that he was ever a baby or a child.
Yes, baby Snoke was not something. Unless somebody used the Force to turn him into a baby, he wouldn't have. And I did switch over to the new picture, the other picture of baby Ahsoka, who looks adorable. And if they
Yes.
come out with a little plushie, I hope my kids will want to buy that so I can help, help support Disney. They're in trouble financially.
They are.
And I
yeah.
just need every dollar I can possibly give them.
New on Hasbro Pulse for $1,500. Fully articulate baby Ahsoka.
That's cheap. We should probably get some.
Right? Oh boy, Dave, you don't know what I'm talking. Yeah, you.
No,
think
I
you
don't.
saw the picture. Oh, okay. So recently, Hasbro decided that they were going to market the third sister double lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. That looked like a plastic
yeah,
blade. Yeah.
with that ridiculous price. And here's the thing. So, if you guys don't know, they released a fully detailed proton pack from Ghostbusters for like $400. And this thing was really detailed with removable pieces, lights, sound. It would attach to the...
There it is on the Doug shelf.
It would
Right
attach to
behind
the proton gun that they released earlier. So the two parts will connect and everything like that. And so that was really good. You look at the price, they're like, you can buy these things that like crafters will make for like $1,000, $1,200 on like Etsy or whatever. And for Hasbro to be like, yeah, here's one for $400, and it's as detailed as something that you'd find online. It's like, okay, yeah, that's worth it. But this plastic toy that they're releasing for the lightsaber, and it looks like a plastic toy. I'm like, nah, not for $500. I'm not.
It looks more like something you would win at age weight sign at Cedar Point when they get it wrong. I think you're 70. I'm 51. Oh, there you go. You get the third sister replica lightsaber.
Right.
This is crap.
And if you play again, you can win the blades.
But Dave was right. Our next topic is the Bad Batch. We do know that season 2 is coming this fall.
Yeah.
Will the guesser win a prize? Yeah, that's right, Thunder Walker.
And we got a trailer too, and so let's go to that.
Perfect.
Gonna transition over to that. You see the Lucasfilm logo.
You can buy your freedom.
Give David I a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
have a future.
We can just watch it.
do you
We're
do?
not breaking. I did not have time because of all of the
Oh.
family festivities over the weekend to kind of look at this frame by frame to see anything out of it.
Please, you son of a bitch.
You know, we get to see Omega a few times. We see Palpatine, you know, in the Senate.
And they got the right voice. They got it sounded like him anyway.
It was Ian McDermott. Yeah,
That's what
him.
Ian McKellen.
Ian, yes. Who Doug said? Not me. I'm not very bright. That's been well done. No.
Ian McKellen for what?
For Palpatine.
But we do
Ian
see.
McDermott.
Ian McDermott?
Yeah, Ian McKellen is the
Oh, that's right. I was right.
X-Men.
Yeah, he was
He was
Magneto.
Gandalf.
Oh my God. You're right. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm the idiot. You're right, Keith. Jesus.
And I believed you. Damn it. But we do see the youngling Chewbacca or the youngling Wookiee with his green lightsaber here. So we're going to see him. You know, they could do a
So he
lot of
made it
interesting
through?
things. You know, we're going to find out. You know, this show could be a good way of here's some Jedi that survived Order 66 and introduce them later on, whether it be Obi-Wan season 2 or Obi-Wan season 1, even though this is coming out after Obi-Wan season 2. But I think the best thing I saw about this was Ryan Airy from Screen Crush, who we all enjoy. If you guys don't watch him, he's excellent. But he was like, oh, the Bad Batch season 2, the A-Team in space. Sounds great.
The 18 in space, yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
It is. But it looks good.
They
You know,
can
the
go on
thing,
forever with that.
they really can. The thing I like about this, too, is Disney is not
Let's go.
going cheap on the animation. The animation on this show looks great. I mean, this isn't coming out for 3 or 4 months, and it looks like a lot of the animation is already done, and it looks great. It's like that final season of the Clone Wars, the real final season of the Clone Wars, and they're not skimping on it. It's great. They're doing what they need to do to make sure, you know, no one's going to talk bad about the animation, I guess.
Omega looks like she's grown up some. She looks taller, a little bit older. So I'm wondering, are we dealing with a bit of a time skip? Like, are they going to move forward like a year or two or something? Or I assume they're not going to do the same thing that they did with Clone Wars, where they're going to have different arcs that may take place, you know, at different times in it. So I know that's pretty much what Clone Wars, they were like back and forth in time. I have a feeling Bad Batch is going to be a little bit more linear.
I would hope so, and I think they will because it's one team, and they're not jumping back and forth between like Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Mace Windu, and you know other Jedi's and stuff. So I think it'll definitely be more linear.
You know what I'm noticing that we're missing from this trailer, and I know that you two are very sad and broken up about it as well. The Return of the Sisters. I mean, obviously they should have been front and center. They were probably the best part. Martinez sisters, yeah, they were the best part of the Clone Wars, and definitely the best part of the Bad Batch. I mean, just give them their own series. There we go. Going back to our original question, they need to have their own series. Let's go. Disney Plus, make it happen.
We
They
will
might.
not be reviewing that. We will not. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, stop talking, dog. You're giving them ideas.
I know, right? Oh Lord, they would too. That's that's the sad part. And then we would have to hate watch it,
I mean,
just
that
like our
was
back to the editing room.
that was
We
some of the
Mystery Science
worst.
Theater, that show.
Some of the worst Clone Wars episodes, and they were a little better in the Bad Batch when they were there, but not much. It was like,
Not
oh
much.
my god, these characters are like thinner than a paper plate. Please stop having them show up places, or write them better, make them more interesting.
Well, guess what we've got for you? New live action show. Also, that's what the next trilogy is going to be about. Just them.
Hey, Keith, do you have another topic, or did you want to go straight to the information about the contest?
Well, we have no more topics. When you
All
say the
right.
information about the,
When we're
I'm
going
not-
to draw the winner?
I'm not ready to spin the wheel. I didn't have time to get all that set up and ready. I'm probably
Well,
going
not
to do
today,
it.
but just we need to let people know
Wanna
when
talk
it's
about
gonna
it?
happen.
No, we are going to be drawing the winner. The contest is coming to a close. We have the
There you
Darth
go,
Vader
good.
omnibus up for
Is that
sale.
a decent angle?
I know Tundra Walker is in. He gets a bonus entry because he picked Qui-Gon as the character you'd like to see. And after I tweeted about the last thing that the last thing in the preview or the previously in Star Wars was Yoda saying that, which Doug mentioned earlier. So yeah, we got that given away. We have more giveaways coming up. So if you're out there, go to our YouTube channel, Not Your Status Quo. We give away stuff about things that are coming up. We're giving away Darth Vader for Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have New Normal for Miss Marvel coming up, which is a great graphic novel. We have we don't have
Lord
anything for
Thunder.
the boys. We should find. Yeah, we are definitely, without question, giving away Gore the God Butcher run from Jason Aaron for that. But we didn't get anything for the boys. We should
Oh,
probably
yeah,
do
and
that.
that's coming out, next week?
Yeah,
Friday.
Friday. 4 days
Oh,
from now.
wow.
Okay.
Snuck up on us.
We stumbled on that one, folks. Sorry.
I almost wonder, should we maybe see if we can get it like a graphic novel, like I don't know, for the final season or something like that, or
Maybe. And I guess, honestly, we don't have to do it before the season starts. We could be
that's
like,
true too, yeah.
You guys caught up in the hype of the boys? Because, this season, everything that has been said about this season from all the actors, it's like, if you think this show has been nuts before, it's exponentially more this season. And I believe that. Because, in the comics, there was Herogasm. For those of you that don't know it, the heroes would all go to this island for a week of just debauchery. And the things they did in the comics, and the thing I was like, this is just absolutely outrageous. This was demon time times 10. And
Huey coming. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And if this is what, and they said it's going to be in this season, and they didn't, pull it back any. I'm like, I can't imagine what is going to happen on that episode, but it's going to be nuts, and it's probably going to be something people are going to talk about for many, many years to come.
This
No
is
pun
why
intended.
this is what sets the boys apart. That and Doom Patrol didn't hold back with that whole Sex Patrol thing they had going
Oh,
on.
God.
And that, whenever they start to water it down because they're worried the audiences won't get it or understand it or like it, that's when they go wrong.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, nice. Well, and honestly, that is all the news that's fit to print today about Star Wars Celebration. I don't know if anyone else has anything to talk about. It was a busy weekend. I didn't formulate any.
Yeah, what do you
theories.
all think in the chat? What are you most looking forward to out of so we talked about today, we talked about new season of the Bad Batch, talked about new season of the Mandalorian. We know that Andor is coming. We talked about that new Jedi stories animated series. that's
Tales
gonna
of the
be coming.
Jedi. Yeah.
Tales of the Jedi. Obviously, all of our favorites. What we're really looking forward to is the Young Jedi series. I think that's
Young Jedi Adventures. I'm telling you, me
Young
and
Jedi
Sully are going to be
Adventures.
camped
Bad
out.
Batch.
the best. But yeah,
And tonight we're gonna do that thing we want to do with the curve thing.
it's right here. TG, he wants to know where the Sprite is.
Sprite bomb.
That is I believe that is a thermal detonator Sprite.
Yes. Yep, you can only get those in what do you call it? Galaxy's Edge.
You know what? I just thought of something. There was zero movie news at Star Wars Celebration.
They
No
seem to be
Rogue
doing-
One stories.
The
Hmm.
only thing that got announced was that
Oh.
Taika Waititi Star Wars movie is coming out before Rogue Squadron. That was all. And that Rian Johnson's trilogy isn't canceled, but it's on indefinite hold or whatever's going on with that. And I don't know if
Okay.
that's going to be.
It's canceled.
I don't know if
There's
that's
no way
post.
that they keep putting it off.
Well, I mean, when they said he's been concentrating on his Knives Out, I mean, he got a ton of money to do multiple Knives Out movies for Amazon Prime. So, I mean, I could see it if they really want him to do it, and he's like, hey, guys, I got to hold off on this for a little bit. It could be that they want him to do post Rise of Skywalker, and they're just waiting for him, and they're okay with it because they're going to fill in a lot of the time from, with Mandalorian and Ahsoka and Rangers of the Republic, which is not coming out, and anything else that comes out. If we get more Book of Boba Fett, they're going to fill in that timeline and then get us to post, Episode 9.
Mm-hmm. So Thunder Walker says, I'm more into the live action than the animated. I just don't have the time to watch 32 seasons of Clone Wars and stuff.
Well, you should, Thunder Walker, because they're excellent. And you do have the time. I know you do.
Yeah, and there's only 7 seasons, so everybody calm down.
And Terrible Gaming wants to know if we're going to Comic-Con or any cons in the future, as it would be great for exposure. I totally agree.
We have went to
we
Motor
went to
City
one.
Comic-Con before, and we did some stuff. We want to do more, and sometimes it is we wanted to go this year, which was a couple weeks ago, and Dave had a show, and then I had some stuff come up, so we couldn't. I know Dave or Doug did go and do some things, but we want to do all this stuff. We would love to go to Star Wars Celebration.
So what I've been doing is I've been bringing, we've got a branded baseball bat with Not Your Status Quo on it. And what I do is I walk up to people and I beat them over the head and yell Not Your Status Quo. And I think that's going to bring people to the channel. I think, good exposure.
I mean, look at the jump in followers we got on Twitch. We're over 400 subscribers on it. It's working, Doug. Continue this plan.
Yeah, keep beating people, man.
Thunder Walker says you should have gone to
I'm
the
kidding.
C3
It's not
Cherry
real.
Capital Con this weekend.
What did he say?
The C3 Cherry Capital Con.
I like cherries.
I don't know what that is.
though. Just so you know, Thunder Walker
Got a
lives in
gig.
Ludington, so it's probably something out that way.
Got a
But,
gig.
I think out of all the stuff coming out that we did talk about, not just this stream, but the stream before, I do think I think Dave said before too on the last one, he's most excited for the Mandalorian season 3, and I agree. I mean, that show is just so well done, and I mean them going back to Mandalore.
Yeah, okay, so it is Northern Michigan's largest comic book and pop entertainment expo. And Grand Traverse. Okay.
When was it?
It was this weekend, it looks like.
Oh, dang, we could have.
Like
well,
yesterday.
It's May 27th through the 29th.
Yeah.
maybe next year.
Yeah. Oh, Grand Traverse. Duh. Obviously, cherry. Okay, now I get it. I'm slow. I'm slow on the update. Yeah, it didn't even occur to me. Michigan cherries.
Doug, they watch you like all the time, so they know this.
I would hope so. I would hope everybody gets it by now.
And I mean, it would be great. I mean, Dave and I, when we first started this, we talked about going to San Diego Comic Con,
Yeah,
getting in
definitely.
Hall H, doing stuff like that, because you see all the big channels like, New Rock Stars, Murphy's Multiverse, and all of them were at Star Wars Celebration. And that's how we got all our news, following their tweets and learning what was said, because we couldn't be there. So it'd be great to be Comic-Con, D23, Star Wars Celebration, DC Fandom, even though that's all played out. It'd be nice if they did some live thing. Which, I'm glad I reminded myself. I don't know if you guys saw, but Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. The Rock, has said that the Black Adam trailer is dropping on June 8th.
Cool. All right.
So Wednesday, put that on the calendar, folks.
Yep, it is also the first episode of Miss Marvel.
Yep.
And the 4th episode of Obi-Wan. So we are going to be busy that day, gentlemen.
We
Yes,
want still
I have
come
a lot
out
to talk about.
on Wednesdays, or is it Fridays?
No, it's Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
But I do wonder if they're going to make some changes to release dates. They'll probably release Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan both on Wednesdays. And then if it's not doing as well as they think, maybe they'll jump it out. Because remember, Andor starts August 31st, which is a Wednesday. And it has 12 episodes. And we now know the Bad Batch is coming out in the fall. So those two could overlap. Because you got to think 12 weeks, that's 3 months. So that's basically September, October, November. That's leading into winter. So the Bad Batch and Andor are probably going to be playing at the same time. Are they going to release those on the same date, or maybe one Wednesday, one Friday? It'll be interesting to see
She-Hulk
how
is
Disney.
also out at that time.
Yep. So we could have Bad Batch, Andor, and She-Hulk all dropping on Disney Plus on the same day.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Keith sounded like he could use a drink.
I could. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You've been carrying us both and doing most of the talking here.
Oh,
Let's see here. TG says, y'all just as knowledgeable. One thing I learned in this business, you gotta rub elbows. That's very true. Yeah.
he's right.
Yep. You're not wrong.
And heck, even, speaking of, maybe one day we'll go to TwitchCon.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic too. I know TG and
Well,
Get 'em Dre is going this year, which I can't remember when it is, but that'd be a good time to go.
if everything keeps going the way it is, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing a lot better on Twitch. I mean, the fact that we're already got affiliate on Twitch and we're still not even close to being monetized on YouTube. And
YouTube, that's, man. God, we've, you guys started it in what, 2017?
This will be, is this year 5, Keith? Or
this year will be 5.
Wow.
This year will be 5.
Jeez.
YouTube is the ground,
Our
but we've
first
learned a
one
lot
was
too.
Thor.
Yep, Thor Ragnarok review at the theater.
Wow. And I remember when I joined the channel, we were sitting at were we even at 200 at that point? Or were we under 200?
I think we were under 200.
I think we were too.
We had less than 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, we looked at that before, and we got more subscribers in the last year than we did the previous 4.
Yeah.
So it's a grind, and I think the thing, I know TG has said this too. Just keep doing it. Just keep grinding. There's times I know it's like we don't seem to be getting anywhere. So you got to make it fun. You got to make sure you're enjoying it and you're doing it for the right reasons. As long as you do that and you keep grinding, you'll get there. It just takes time. Unless you're already someone famous, you're not going to get 1,000 subscribers, in 3 hours or something like some of these people do. So we just got to keep at it. It'll all pay off in the end, and it'll be nice.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. TG says it's in October. TwitchCon, I assume means.
Yeah.
And then he says YouTube is hard. Yeah, it is. It's been tough. We're sticking with it. Honestly, though, I think the fact that it is tough has made us a lot better. Like we haven't given up, and I think that's what makes us learn more. It makes us keep striving, learning new skills. Whether we've made so many changes to how we make our videos. I remember we used to start each video by asking people to like and subscribe, but we also found out that in doing that we had a lot of drop-offs earlier in our videos. And so, we rearranged some things when we started doing things different. We shortened our intro. We got right into the meat of what people were coming to our videos for. And I think that's helped because we've noticed an increase in watch time in our videos since we started doing them.
By at least 6 seconds.
Almost until I start talking.
but no, we learn a lot about videography. We've learned how important sound is. So we've gotten better microphones. We put up a couple of sound panels, behind our microphone when we're at the studio. There's a lot of changes that we've been making in order to improve ourselves as we keep going. And I think it's because we've been struggling at YouTube. It wasn't easy. It hasn't been easy so far. So we've been improving as much as we can to try and, succeed.
And it's not only getting better editing videos and finding little things to do and, better sound and better studio things and better looks and all this other stuff. We also constantly revamp what we do because, we can't compete with the big channels. They get reviews out on shows before they come out sometimes because they get things. So, let's talk about what's next. Let's do things, what can we compete on them with? Theorizing, what's next, breaking down, trailers, doing, trailer, we haven't done one of those in a while. but the trailer.
Trailer reaction.
Yeah, initial reactions to trailers. Those are always fun. They get a lot of views on YouTube, which I've never understood, but I guess people like to see what other people think too. I guess that's what it is. But
Hey, that's why I used to watch movie reviewers. Sometimes I want to know what other people think about it. And that way, when I go to see the movie, I can be like, that person didn't know what they were talking about.
and that's the thing.
Pokemon, the first movie, was like the greatest cinema ever.
Detective Pikachu was a masterpiece.
Detective Pikachu was definitely a movie.
And
Dave and I agree.
I always think,
It was a movie.
I always think, critics are. I never think of what their final score is per se. I try to listen to, this is what I didn't like about it, or this is what I didn't like, or this is what I liked about it. And I'm like, does that bother me if that's in a movie? No. So I don't necessarily care about their criticism on it because I probably won't feel the same way. And so many people just worry about, well, critics all gave it a 10, so it's awesome. But you don't, because they may like different things in a movie. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, Keith likes everything. So, Keith, you're on this side over here.
That's not true.
Yeah, you're over here, right? If Keith doesn't like something, you got to know it's bad.
But it's bad for me. I mean, like, not liking Morbius or not liking, what was Tomb Raider, that Tomb Raider thing. The reason I didn't like it, other people may not mind things like that. Like the fact that I hated the main character so much in Morbius, just I couldn't get into the movie. And I think that was the biggest thing that I didn't like about it. And other people may be okay with, because you can have a bad guy and still sort of feel for him or understand. And there was like no positive things about Morbius in this movie that made me, I just couldn't get into it. I turned it, and then, some of the decisions they made and just the fact that you could tell that movie was just completely revamped multiple times. And they had no idea what they were really doing by the end product. And that just irked me to no end.
It was like it was made. It was like it was made to hang on to the character. Did you just say you spoiled the movie?
No, I just said I thought it was a movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's all.
And Dave liked it more than I did because the things that bothered me about it didn't bother Dave. And that's what's great about having us three review too, because if someone agrees with Dave and Dave
opinions.
says they hate it, they know maybe I shouldn't, go. If they agree with me. Uh-oh.
Tundra Walker.
What did he do?
He mentioned the movie. That film. Wonder Woman 84. You want to talk about bad movies? Okay, here we go. Let's talk about
we've been on
Wonder
for an hour
Woman.
and a half. We don't have 4 days.
Let's talk about the shit show that was Wonder Woman 84. You want to talk about really dropping the ball with that?
No,
I will start with how hyped we were for Wonder Woman 84 at DC's terrible convention, their terrible virtual convention. That whole thing was a mess. That made no damn sense, and that should have been red flags all over the place. Watching what it was
no
called?
way DC Fandom. I was like, they spent so much money making Wonder Woman 84 perfect that they didn't have any money for Fandom. That's why it's so janky and so terrible. Little did we know they spent who knows what. Well, they spent it on,
that
Zack
golden armor.
Snyder's
That's what they spent it on.
The movie that was finished, but they had to spend an extra $70 million on to complete. Which
because it was done.
Sure, okay. Is that what you call that? That movie just stopped. It gave up.
But according to some people I saw on Twitter, Warner Discovery is bringing back the Snyderverse. So we'll get a press clipping any day now about
We are
Justice.
never going to get a
Justice
good
League
DC universe.
How hilarious would it be if Zack Snyder announced that going forward, all of his feature films would actually be radio dramas? Catch it on AM 120.
That's how cinema was made to be heard, not with a CD on a mini Victrola that you wind up and you play the record. This is the story of the Man of Steel 2. Wah wah wah.
No voices.
Oh, that's right.
Voices.
Why, Superman, what do you have in your hand there? It's a gun. Who's faster than
Why
a
do you have
speeding
a gun,
bullet now?
Superman?
Not that criminal.
Superman has murdered 37 people on today's episode. What will he do next week? Tune in for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, the radio drama.
Right.
Superman shot
wants to know-
32 people today.
Yeah,
But when he didn't have the gun, he didn't kill people. What's going on?
right. Turbo Gaming wants to know if the DCCU is still a thing.
Nope. Nope, not continuous.
We don't know, because with the
Yeah.
merger of Warner Brothers and Discovery, we don't know what direction they're going to go in. We know Black Adam's coming out. We know The Flash is coming out. We know Shazam! Fury of the Gods is coming out. But we don't know how they're going to move forward past that.
I think this is just conjecture on my part, but I think they've given up on trying to match the MCU as far as creating one connected universe. I think they've realized that they're actually better off when they keep some of their characters more separate in their own, separate worlds. Like the Batman, that movie that just came out, that has absolutely no connection to the DCCU. Whereas a show like Peacemaker is connected to the DCCU, but we don't even know if it is the one that we're used to seeing, because who knows, maybe there's two different versions of it. Maybe there's the original Justice League verse and then Zack Snyder's Snyder verse. It's really hard to say, like, what even is the DCCU, and it may not even matter come Flashpoint.
Yeah, and it all depends on where Warner Discovery wants to go with it. If they think the best way is to have a connected universe, they'll try it again.
Yeah.
It may fail if they think it's better to just have some standalone films and maybe less connected and maybe match people up after that. Because we do know that one of the first decisions they kind of were hinting at is that they no longer want to have made for HBO Max films. We've heard Blue Beetle, which is filming now, and Batgirl, which just finished filming, which were originally going to be HBO Max exclusives, are going to be released in theaters now. So,
well, you know what? People are finally going back to the theater. It's taking, a little bit of time, but people are going back to the theater. TG says, I do like the DC animated films. Yeah, the ones that they did a couple of years ago, I thought most of them were pretty good. I haven't enjoyed I think there's been 2 recent ones that they've made so far. I'm just not a fan of the new art style. The stories are fine. They're okay. But I haven't been a fan of the art style, and it's kind of turned me off. So, I don't know. We'll have to kind of see how that goes. But generally speaking, DC seems to do better when it comes to animated stuff. They've always done really well. For those of you that grew up a bit or, watched the animated series in the 90s and the early 2000s, like Batman, the animated series, Superman, the animated series, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, all excellent animated series. And you could tell that the people who wrote for those, directed those, drew for those and everything, you could tell that they cared about the characters and they cared about the stories, because a lot of storylines were either pulled directly from the comics or they were completely recreated to kind of make them better. Like the version of Mr. Freeze that we have today is because of those animated series.
Yep. Harley Quinn is because of the
only
animated
exists
series.
because of those animated series.
And I do hope we have the new Batman. I forget what. Oh my God, is it the Cowl of the Batman or coming out on HBO Max? And I really hope they do a good job, because they have done such good animated series. I mean, Marvel's done some good, like Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the X-Men, Spider-Man, things like that. But they've had so many misses too, like Iron Man.
Yeah.
The Incredible Hulk one was terrible, and then all of the new ones that came out since being bought from Disney, like Hulk and the Agents of Smash and Avengers Assembled, they have all been just utter trash. And I really hope now that Marvel Studios has taken over the animation and television, we'll get something a little better. But all we've gotten now is What If. We know What If Season 2 is coming, and we know that X-Men, the animated series, is being brought back for new episodes, in 2023.
Thunder Walker says, some of the animated are good, some aren't. And he also says, the Batman animated from a couple of years ago isn't that bad. Good story with Katana and Metamorpho. Yes, yeah, that was actually set when Batman was a little bit newer. Yeah,
Was that
series
Beware the
was pretty
Batman?
decent. Beware the Bat. Is that what the full title was?
Beware the Batman.
Yeah, it was because Katana was there and Alfred was an MI6 guy. And it only lasted one season, and that was really well done. If that's what you're talking about, Tundra Walker, and I think it is on HBO Max right now. But I was watching that on, I think Cartoon Network was.
Yeah, HBO Max has everything you want to see for
oh.
DC.
I never saw that series. I'm looking at these images now. That's kind of a 3D look to it.
Yeah, it was.
No, there was a series, and when he says a couple of years, I know what he's talking about. There was a series called The Batman.
See, I watched The Batman too, and that was good, and it ended with Superman showing up in the very last episode. But I don't remember Katana being in The Batman because she was in Beware the Batman.
Yeah, HBO Max is a great deal.
The Batman is the one with the dreadlock Joker. My mistake. Okay, so yeah, he did mean the one you were talking about, Keith. Okay.
Which, Doug, you should check it out. It is definitely good. It's worth the watch.
Right.
I was very disappointed.
Is that it's on HBO Max?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out.
It's only one season. For whatever reason, they didn't renew it, and it was very well done.
Speaking of these animated series, one that I will never, and you guys can maybe explain it to me in the chat. One series that I've never understood gets so much love. I never really enjoyed it. Was the MTV Spider-Man animated series, and that was another one that was only on for one season.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Yes, that's where our generational difference comes in because I hadn't never seen that before either.
I saw a few episodes when it first originally aired. That was I'm trying to think like what a good comparison is.
Because wasn't Neil Patrick Harris Peter Parker on that?
I believe he was, yes. And they also had the version of the Kingpin that was from the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. But yeah, it had if you can imagine early 2000s 3D CGI animation, it was rough. It was very rough.
Yikes.
Yeah. I don't know. I just did not do it for me. I didn't really care for the story. I didn't really care for the characters that much. I recently-ish, I'd say within the past couple of months, I rewatched a couple of episodes of it for the Kingpin in focus. And I was reminded about how much I did not like that series. But you will see video after video on YouTube popping up of people defending it and saying how amazing it was, and it was it should have gotten more seasons. I'm just like, I don't know what you all were watching. It wasn't that good.
Well, it's like anything else. Things come out, people, a lot of fanboys instantly hate it. And then as time goes on, it's like you start seeing all this love. This is a misunderstood masterpiece. And, we saw it with the prequels in Star Wars. Everyone...
Tundra Walker says it was based on Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't think it was. Because it was, Spider-Man was in college at that point. Ultimate Spider-Man started off with him still in high school. I don't think that series was based on Ultimate Spider-Man. It may have started off that way, but
now I'm going to have to watch it. I want to see.
All right. And, the Kingpin in the Ultimate Spider-Man series was still very much like his original appearance in, like, the 90s animated series. It was still that version of the Kingpin.
Now, the one of my favorite Spider-Man cartoons is the Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't know if any of you guys also saw it. It only lasted one season, too. Had a great theme song. And I'm hoping it someday shows up on, like, Disney Plus, but it's, once again, a Sony. So who knows, where they're hiding that.
What was the theme song?
Spectacular, spectacular Spider-Man. Doom, 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 doom.
It was a good series. I enjoyed it.
Really? It was really that slow?
Yeah.
You figure with Spider-Man, he's always bouncing around. You want a quicker theme song.
Well, sort of like the 90s when was Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man.
Sung by Ned from South Park.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Wait,
He's pulling it up. It's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Which thing are you bringing up? The
spectacular.
Okay, all right.
No, I gotta get a. We'll go to trailer reaction.
Russ Simpson, Spider Pig. Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does.
Display capture.
Little did Homer know there actually was a Spider Pig. Peter Porker.
Peter Porker.
But yes, Spectacular Spider-Man was really good. If you want to talk about underrated, I would say, not Ultimate Spider. Was it?
Let's see how
was.
Okay, we're just gonna see the entire. Oh wait, I gotta push it over first.
All right.
You guys, tell me. I don't have enough screens to do this properly.
Oh jeez.
So I'm gonna transition this over, and then
Okay.
I'm going to play this. You guys see Spider-Man? You guys hear it?
No, not yet. Let's give it a minute so I catch up on it. Okay, I see it. No, can't hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. That's crazy.
Oh,
Okay,
that's right. I do have my speakers. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Okay.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to it.
Okay, that's my fault. I'm a fool. I did get my speakers turned on, so yeah. Oh yeah, so it's easy, but it's got all this fancy emojis.
You guys can't see the chat. It's just not stopping.
There we go. Did everyone enjoy that?
Yeah. I know I did.
Oh, good stuff. I need a third monitor because I just realized, I have our Zoom up here, and I can't put anything in front of it, or we won't see us here. And then if I have something here and I'm trying to work on it in OBS, I can't because it's either up or I see OBS and it has this on it. So learned something new today. I'm going to get better at OBS by buying more things.
Yep, get another screen.
I cannot remember. There was a Spider-Man series that was in the 90s that took place after the original 90s run. I cannot remember what the heck that series is called. It wasn't Ultimate Spider-Man. It was like Spider-Man Advanced or something like that. But that was the series that I think I had referenced to you guys. I told you about it, where he meets
The High
High
Evolutionary.
Evolutionary. Yeah.
Was that Spider-Man 2099?
No, it was the world that he was in was it was based on the 2099 Spider-Man, but this was still Peter Parker. He had somehow he had like latched onto a spaceship that was supposed to be going to another dimension. I don't know, comic book reasons. I think he was going after Venom and Carnage. That's what it was. They had latched themselves onto a spaceship. So Spider-Man went after them. They all got trapped into another dimension. And so Spider-Man has to fight both Venom and Carnage, and he also has to deal with the High Evolutionary, who are all hunting humans.
Dang. That sounds pretty good.
He's got his beast shields, or whatever he called them.
Yeah, Beastmen, the Animen, I think, or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Which
he had
the
them,
rumor is, don't forget, the rumor is that the High Evolutionary is going to show up in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So that
would be
How could I forget? How can I forget that?
I don't know. You can forget anything.
Oh, Get 'em Dre is here. All right. What's up? How's it going? And TG
All right, hit the
says,
reset. We're going to talk
we're-
about everything with Dre.
yeah, TG says that we're talking about all the people that are going to lose to Goku. Yeah, pretty. Thank you, Thunder Walker, Spider-Man Unlimited. That was it.
What
Thank
about
you.
One
I could
Punch
not
Guy?
remember the name of that series. Oh
One
man,
Punch
now
Guy.
okay,
Would he beat Goku?
that series was underrated. That was a good series. I think.
Homelander versus Goku.
Homelander versus Goku. Well, let me
Okay,
see
the
here.
deep versus.
The Deep.
Christ.
Yeah, right.
Do you guys watch Death Battle?
No.
So they recently put out a video of Homelander versus what's his name from Invincible? Omni-Man.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
But yeah, so TG is talking about it right now. Did y'all see Omni-Man versus Homelander? Yeah, that one was rough. Homelander did not stand a
Probably
chance.
Omni-Man, because he's more focused.
Oh. It was good. Omni-Man tore him. That was bad. The only thing that Homelander was able to do is he had his laser vision, and he was able to blind Omni-Man for a minute, but that really didn't matter. But yeah, what Death Battle does is they're pretty nerdy like we are, and they'll actually analyze all of these different people before they have them go up against each other. They'll look at all their appearances in the comic books and TV shows and movies and everything, and they'll talk about like what their different powers are, compare it to like, okay, this guy flew through a moon. This guy is so fast that he flew from one end of the universe to the other. So like that's how they calculate how powerful they are, how fast they are. If they were to throw a punch, like how much damage would it do?
Oh, nice. So next
Yeah.
it's going to be Willow versus an Ewok.
But yeah,
I watched the Willow
you should
preview
both
today,
check it
I
out.
gotta admit.
It was really good. But yeah, Omni-Man, super powerful. That's another series. I cannot wait for Invincible season 2 to come back.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But Dave, I watched the Willow preview too. I loved that movie when I was a kid, and I hope that's coming out this fall too. We're gonna have Willow, She-Hulk, Andor, The Bad Batch, and Willow all coming.
That's
back.
a lot.
It's amazing they got the same guy.
I should
you know?
apologize. Sorry, Get 'em Dre. There is a little person in Willow. So
Oh, that's right. I forgot he doesn't like
He's the same actor. That's
Yeah.
amazing to me.
TG says 2023 for season 2. Okay, sweet. I am looking forward to it. That was an amazing series, I think.
yeah, that first season was tremendous.
Mhm.
I had never read the
Invincible.
comics before seeing it, and that last 5 minutes of the first episode I was like,
That
okay,
hooked me.
I'm buying Invincible shirts. I'm going to buy the comics. I need to see it all.
Originally, because I had never read the comics either, originally I had heard that J.K. Simmons was supposed to be, the voice actor, and I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. It's, we'll see if it's any good. And when it, was the first 40 minutes of it or whatever, I'm like, okay, it's, your run-of-the-mill superhero show. It looks like anything else that DC would have put out any of their animated series. Oh my God, what the hell just happened?
Oh my God!
What
the hell just happened?
Shit. Okay, well,
Are we drunk?
I
What
gotta
just
see the next
happened?
episode. What was that? Game of Thrones prequel, August 21st.
Oh yeah, House of Dragon.
I don't even know
Everybody's
if I'm
kind
gonna
of
watch
sour on
that.
that.
God, I don't care about Game of Thrones anymore. I'm I'm still so pissed off at how that ended.
I'm going to watch it, and I pray, someone has their iPad up too high.
I mean, I'm
I can hear
sure it'll
myself
be
talking.
fine. I think it's different directors, as far as I know. So, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be fine. It's just, I know what it's leading up to,
But George
Like-
R.R. Martin did help with the script, and he helped, with the outline of it and everything. Which
Yeah, I
really,
guess.
I think, what went wrong with the final season of Game of Thrones is he was out of the
They didn't
loop.
care.
Yeah,
He wasn't as involved in it, but also the oh my God, I cannot think of their names now. They thought they were going to go work on a Star Wars project, I think, and
they were going to work on a whole Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, So they didn't care. They're like, yeah, let's hurry up and get done with this. We're going to hurry up and finish off the season. We don't care. Leave the Starbucks cup in. Doesn't matter. Don't edit it out. Let's go. Come on. We got Star Wars.
And lost the Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, and then they lost it.
Yep. Well, it can't work under pressure, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they were too busy thinking about what they were going to do for their Star Wars film, and just
Too busy thinking about what comes next.
Can this Star Wars series have dragons? You can have dragons in our movies?
Kind of like what the Lions do at every game. They're thinking, oh, what's going to come after? Oh, was I supposed to catch that? Oh, well, whatever.
Come on, I read from a local Lions fan that they are winning the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did so good in the draft. And they got the right
Terrible
coach
game.
finally.
George R. R. Martin too busy spending money. Yeah.
Can't blame him. He's getting up there in age. If he has that money, he should be spending it.
Get Andrea said, didn't he help create Elden Ring?
He did, yes. He was he helped write all of the storylines and stuff for Elden Ring, which, what a great game. That game is, I know he's called the terrible gamer, but TG is a great gamer, and I have struggled with that game mightily, but I still love it.
Terrible Gaming says, I went to see Morbius, and as soon as I saw Sony pop up, I wanted to leave.
That's not what he said. He said, I love Morbius. That's what he said. It says it right there.
Speaking of, not to get off track, Keith, you're on Twitter. Have you been seeing the Morbius memes? They are getting a resurgence on Twitter.
Somebody thinks that this is Sony doing it because they want to generate some buzz because they want to make Morbius 2.
Really?
Yeah. That is like deep.
Do they
conspiracy
not realize like these memes are making fun? They're not laughing with Morbius; they are laughing at Morbius.
No, I know, but they think if you generate, they think no buzz is bad buzz. If it's making fun of it, it'll just generate enough, interest that they can make the next movie because they need that Sinister Six. That's their main goal. They'll do anything to get there. If they have to make fun of their own movies to generate some buzz, they will do so.
I wouldn't be surprised. Get him dirty. Did you see Morbius? Because I feel like you would have actually liked that movie. That seems more like So you seem to, if I remember right, you seem to like a lot of the movies that I thought were terrible. So I'm guessing you would have liked Morbius.
What movies did you not like that he liked? Do you remember?
Let's see here. If I remember right, he was a fan of the Transformers movies. He liked. He used to say that his favorite movie was The Rock.
With Sean
I gotta
Connery.
wait and see his response on that.
And then, terrible game. Dre won't like it. Nick Cage not in it. Yeah. So Dre, Dre used to say that anything with Nick Cage was amazing. Anything directed by
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay was amazing.
To each their own, yes.
Yeah. He didn't like Breaking Bad because meth is a boring drug. Oh my god.
I wouldn't know. I've never taken meth, so I wouldn't know.
Anything that makes you, lose all your teeth and act that must be great. Otherwise, people wouldn't let themselves go like that.
I mean, that's
I'm
why
telling you, when I get old enough and I can't move anymore, I'm going to start doing heroin, man.
Hey,
I was like
Absolutely.
85, stuck in a chair. Why not?
Chase that dragon, man. Chase that
75th
dragon.
birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, we just made affiliate and we're already going to get booted off.
I'm not 75 yet. I may look it.
Banned forever.
We're not doing
Voting
drugs.
drug use.
We're making drugs. We're making jokes about drugs.
Okay, that's gonna be our next episode. Next time we go live, we are cooking drugs. God. We're gonna show you how. We'll have a quick and easy recipe up on the screen that you can follow along at home.
Doug, you got the most room, right? So we're going to all meet at Doug's next week.
All right.
So I heard the best way to make black tar heroin is to really,
Tundra Walker says spice is the only drug we can discuss.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. I got some Kessel Pure. I got some.
Kessel beer. I wonder if they do that in the Star Wars universe, if they've got like different. Oh wait, yeah, actually, yeah, they mentioned that in Obi-Wan. What was he had?
It was Kessel Pure, I think.
Okay.
Fallujah something. And by the way, the
right.
girl selling that to Obi-Wan? Did you guys know who that was?
No.
That is Ewan McGregor's actual daughter.
Really? Huh.
I thought you were going to pull a Ryan Airy there. I thought you were going to say that was your mom.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. I wasn't even thinking that. Jeez, Dave, you're ruined.
Yeah, but I thought that was kind of cool because she says,
That
not
is
all
cool.
of us. What did she say? She said something about not all of us had or all of us had fathers at one time or something. Because she was obvious on the, that planet.
Get him Dre says spice in Dune makes no sense.
Why not? Did he like Dune? Because that is one movie that I think out of us three, I'm the only one who liked it. Because I don't mind the slower paced films building to something.
I need to see the second one because this was really long. It was really drawn out. I think it would have been better if it would have been a series, in my opinion, rather than a movie. He said he loved it.
Yeah, see, he's got good taste. I knew it. I knew it from outside of football teams. He's got good taste in movies.
No, he's got excellent taste in football team.
The 80s movie was hilarious, he says. It had some interesting choices. The sandworms in the 80s movie were what inspired the sandworms in the Beetlejuice movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah.
Fiction or fact from Doug's Almanac. Oh, you just say absolutely? You son of a bitch.
No one absolute. I just needed a drink.
Yeah, same. But you just said it, so.
I did, though. Keith's got nothing left in that can.
There's drops. Little drops.
Terrible Gaming says, Lions going to the Super Bowl. Lions is the best team in the NFL until week 2. Oh, man.
The Lions had a good draft. I do like where they drafted. Getting Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to help the team. They got the wide receiver from Alabama who, he had tore his ACL, but he's young enough. He'll rebound from that. And he's an extremely talented wide receiver. They'll be better. Unfortunately, they still have the same quarterback who is, Steve Walsh, weak-armed, unable to read defenses, who did take a team to the Super Bowl, I know, but that team was stacked everywhere. I can't even think of his name. Who the hell is the Lions quarterback? Why can't I think of his name?
Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff. Tiny hands, can't read defenses, weak.
Oh, it's Rex Grossman.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Rex Grossman, he would fumble the ball at least 2 or 3 times a game because his hands were so small.
Yeah, Alex Smith was the same way.
TG says last year on Goff contract, and Gideon Dre says Jared Goff is goated.
Sexy Rexy, that's right. Sexy Rex Grossman.
But the thing is, I think the Lions did the right thing with not drafting a quarterback. They probably should have went after Malik Willis. I think he's going to be the best out of this bunch. But a lot of quarterbacks are coming out next year. So as long as they can be terrible and get a high draft pick, they can get that.
They can
next
do
person in
that.
line.
They've been known to do that and be terrible.
But do they go after Baker Mayfield when he gets dropped from Cleveland? There's some options out there for him. I don't know if Baker Mayfield's a better quarterback than Jared Goff, but, they may think Jared Goff is the answer. And honestly, he started playing better last year after Anthony Lynn stopped calling plays. And they brought, I can't remember the guy's name, but he had some familiarity with Jared Goff. Coaches need to play to their players' strengths. And I think Anthony Lynn, wanted Drew Brees, and he got Jared Goff, and he was calling the wrong sort of plays. So Jared Goff, I should stop picking on him. He's much better than I am. And I think with the right play calling and the right offense around him, he can definitely succeed.
Thunderwalker says, with greater parity comes greater consequences with every injury. This may be the least predictable season in a long time.
That's true. I mean, you lose one of your main guys, you are going to be in trouble.
TG says, let Goff play out his year and then draft.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to be a much better crop of quarterbacks in next year's draft than there was in this year's draft. Kenny Pickett, who I feel bad. I mean, I hate the Steelers, so I don't mind them taking him. I think he's going to be a total bust. I think the only one who has a shot of being any good is Malik Willis, who Tennessee grabbed, only because he's got a lot of skill that can be molded into something, where Kenny Pickett is same problem Rex Grossman and everyone else has. He's got tiny hands, and he's not the most accurate thrower, and you cannot be an NFL quarterback and play like that. You can get away with it in college because you can play teams where you're so much more talented than them. It doesn't happen in the NFL.
Take a hold of my good hand.
He's the guy you see with the Whopper, where it looks like it's like.
You're like,
Just so you know, if we upload this one to YouTube, this entire section, I'll put in chapters. This entire section is just going to be called Sports Ball.
I like it. That's the way to do it.
well, now that we're straight off topic.
That's nice. We got a couple Packer fans, a couple Bears fan, a Lions fan on the chat right now. It's all NFC North.
Actually,
good stuff.
I've got a question for the chat, especially since we've got a couple of other Twitch streamers in our chat. This is something that we were discussing as a group, where talking about we just got affiliate, which is really cool. So eventually we can start making some changes, add some new cool features. Earlier, Terrible Gaming asked if we planned on adding in some superhero emojis. I think that'd be a great idea. He said that he could help us out with that. But my question for everybody in the chat is, we're talking about, possibly like different names that we could give our channel points, because we want to kind of make it unique, something that's, that says a little bit about us. So what do you all think? What comes to mind when you think of your fellow nerds, as far as like if we were to set up our channel points? I am curious about that.
Smallville.
Smallville. Somebody save me points.
Yep, save me some points.
That has to be one of
TG says quo points.
quo points.
Quo
I like
points.
that.
All right.
Can we change them all the time? Because then we could change if we're talking about
don't
Star
know.
Wars. It can be. Probably can't. We should probably keep it even. We don't want to confuse.
He also says kryptonite. Oh, that's not too bad.
I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's that one say?
Gendry says
Nerd
nerd
cards.
cards. Nerd cards. I kind of like that. Can I show you my Magic the Gathering cards? I've got 3 foils.
Did I ever tell you the story about Magic the Gathering?
No, what is your story?
Probably.
This was when I was in college, and we had friends who were playing. They were in a band, and they were playing a bar right by us. And we were good friends with them. We used to play Magic with them all the time. And so they played their show, and they were really good. They had a big following. Weezer wanted to tour with them, but they had broken up, and they didn't do it. They were really, really talented. They're called Mom Handy.
Oh.
If you ever, I don't know if you can find their music anywhere. So they're playing Harvey's, and we were walking distance from Harvey's where we were living. And after the show, they're breaking down their stuff, and they're like, "Hey, are we coming over after?" We're like, "Yeah, we're heading home now. Meet us when you're done." And some girls were there, and they were like, "Oh, you guys are going to go party somewhere?" We're like, "Yeah, we're going over to our place." And we said we're like 723 Rose Street over there. And they're like, "Okay." They didn't know we were going to play Magic. And it was no joke. Mom Handy shows up, and we like got tables out, and we're all getting our cards out, and we're talking and stuff. And there's a knock at the door. We're like, "Hey, come on in." And they walked in, and they see us like all at tables with cards, and they're like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're playing Magic." And they're like, "Oh, okay, see ya." And they shut the door and just left.
That's good.
And we're all like, okay.
Yeah, whatever.
I've got a slightly less interesting Magic the Gathering story. So we've already established that out of the three of us, I'm not exactly the brightest of all of them. I'm the crayon that the Marines avoid from eating because I'm not quite the most bright color there. But sitting on the school bus, the two games that, and I still don't recall how the hell we made this happen. The two games that were played on the school bus ride from like everybody stopped to the school was either Magic the Gathering or Pogs. I was a mixture of poor and stupid, so I didn't have enough money to keep buying all the Magic the Gathering cards, nor did I understand how the game worked. So I avoided the people playing Magic the Gathering just because I really didn't understand it. And instead, I gravitated to Pogs because that made more sense, and that all you had to do was throw a thing at other things. And I did have a pretty killer Pog collection. But then my mom
still
sold
have
the
it?
art. So, no, I wish. I had some really cool slammers and some awesome Pogs that I won off other people. So I was really good at throwing things at other things. TG says that another idea, Infinity Stones. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that.
Ooh, I like
I like that. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a really good idea. That's right, because he uses souls. That comes from, I believe, playing Dark Souls, right? That's what you base yours on?
Mm.
Or does it have a deeper meaning due to something else?
You're asking him, and he says
Yeah,
yes.
he did say yes. Okay. So I thought. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Like
It's
that.
definitely worth
we
considering.
have some thinking to do, and we
Yeah,
got to
we
get
do
our
have some-
LLC together so we can.
Mm-hmm.
Shh, don't tell anybody about that.
Oh, sorry.
It's very limited, if you know what I mean.
It's limited.
So we could start making that money. We should just, have salaries of like $100,000 a year for each of us, and then just when we do our taxes, we'll be so far in the red, we get a bunch of money back. That's sustainable, right?
That's going to happen. So I'm going to post something in the chat in case some of our dear viewers were not aware.
Don't do it.
I'm
Whatever
going to
you're
do
doing,
it.
don't do it.
I'm going to do it.
What are you doing?
You can't stop me. It's too late. Here I go.
Don't. Somebody stop me.
Trademark the name too. Yes, we were actually talking about that. I looked up the list of names. I wanted to see if anybody else had already trademarked it, and it has not been. So yeah, we definitely do want to do that.
But there's one platform that it's already taken on. Which one was that? Was that
So the name itself was taken
Twitter?
on Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah. So that's why I had to call us by our initials, because Not Your Status Quo was taken by an Instagram user that isn't even active anymore. They don't regularly post. So
and it don't matter. We can't
but
knock them out.
it hasn't been registered as a trademark. So
And by the way, I was wearing my Not Your Status Quo hat last night, just the initials. And my brother-in-law kept singing In Sync every time I walked by him. I'm like, okay, we need a new logo.
Jeez. Really? How do you get NSYNC from? I get what? Just because of the N?
I don't
It's
know.
the Y.
He has twin 5-year-olds. He was probably just very tight.
If you displace it, it spells sync.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just with the end.
Kind of. I guess if you flip around the letters a bit.
An
Trademark
anagram
it,
of
and
Not
they
Your
will have to
Status
give
Quo.
up the name. Oh, all right. Okay, I didn't know that. They will have to give up the name. That's smart. Okay.
Oh,
So we got
yeah,
some
that's
great
right.
guys.
Either that or they got to pay us.
That's right. We'll take them to Judge Judy. Or should we go
So this
to...
name is now trademarked, and now you have to pay us for everything you ever did
Oh.
under that name.
God, we will get drug through Tatooine sand for being assholes like that.
Or they could become an affiliate, and whatever program they run, we get 50% off.
Dave, the capitalist overlord here.
Hey, look at me, huh? I'm thinking over here.
Tundra Walker Hot Bench? What is that?
Hot bench? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what he said.
It does say that.
It does indeed say that. I don't know what he's referencing, though.
I like what Steve. You ever watch the White Sox baseball?
No,
Keith?
I like real baseball.
Sox announcers have got to be the best. They're so funny. Steve Stone, did I send it to you? The other
You
day
did.
he said, "Yeah, he's like, I've got a plethora of information. Not much of it useful, but it's definitely information."
It's
That's
definitely
us.
information.
I was hoping he would say, I have a plethora of information, and that means a lot.
It does mean a lot. You're right.
That's like, who was I telling you? Oh, I was at my wife's family's Memorial Day party yesterday. I was like, I was kind of a little down in the dumps and feeling bad about things, and just, one of my coworkers was like, just look on the bright side. You got to think you could be buried in a hole full of water in the ground. And I was like, I know he means well.
I get it. And but you were talking about good baseball teams. What's your team?
Hey, we won today. We got 7 runs and 13 hits. It was like an explosion
okay.
of offense.
Yeah, well, who are they again?
The Detroit Tigers.
The team we started off with a 7-20 record, something like that.
Come on, they've had their entire starting lineup of pitchers is hurt right now, and they still have the 3rd best ERA in the league. They just can't hit.
It's excuses.
Isn't that important, though?
It is.
What you always hear from Tigers fans is excuses.
No, you didn't. 84, we didn't have excuses. We won the whole damn thing. But just so you know, Riley Green is coming back. Spencer Torkelson is finally starting to hit. We're getting some of the young pitching back. But, we have – the pitching makes me happy. The relievers make me happy because I didn't expect anything from them. And they're playing really well.
Or catch or run.
What does it say? Dave, look up the...
He said, look up the Dean Guitars versus Gibson ruling. Dean stole the Flying V and owes only $4,000.
Oh, so we wouldn't be able to capitalize on anyone.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you guys something very interesting. Think you'll appreciate it. I didn't exist in 84.
Bastard.
I don't want to hear it.
I was only 14.
Oh, okay.
I was 13. That's when the Bears went 10-6. They went to the championship game and lost to Joe Montana and the 49ers. Following year, they won the Super Bowl.
85 Bears were one of the best teams of all time.
Amazing.
And I still remember some of the words to the Super Bowl Shuffle.
I have a DVD of the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Gary here, and I'm Mr. Clean. They call me Hitman. Don't know what they mean. Throw it long and watch me run. I'm on my man, one-on-one.
Of course Keith knows the words. Of course he does.
I don't know.
This is what people come to watch. This is what they want to see.
Very
Especially,
entertaining.
when people start turning their Infinity Stones in for Gilbert Godfrey impressions and Truman Capote impressions, that's when we're really going to take off. That's when we're going to be up there with the greatest streamers on Twitch. I can't think of anybody besides TG, who is the best streamer on Twitch. Even though I can't let my kids watch him because it gets a little PG-13 on his channel at times, which is great.
Too bad we can't even rate him tonight. He's not on.
Yeah,
He's watching us.
I was just looking to see if Tavian was on too, so we could raid Tavian, but he's not on either. He used to stream like Monday through Fridays, but it doesn't seem like he does anymore.
Oh, he's rated X. Yeah, sometimes.
Keith, play that link. Oh, Keith doesn't have the chat tonight.
Send it to me and
Okay.
yeah. OBS was acting weird, and I'd have to reset it to get the chat and everything going.
You got it,
so.
Doug, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I got it. Bears still suck. Thunder Walker says, Keith, play that link.
I'm going to do it the right way. Just give me 1 sec.
Oh,
Chat amongst yourself. I got
Me and,
some.
me and Dre aren't going to like this.
Oh, that's not. You guys don't need to see that.
How long is this?
2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Really?
That's what it said. Yes. After we showed your Amber Heard with the Packers stuff last week, at least we can do is.
See, that was it.
Let me get back to OBS and then we get to trailer reaction. I'm gonna do this quick. All right. Save that. Stretch it out a little bit. There we go. Let's transition into it.
How many times must we take this disgrace? Another Bears fan throwing insults in our face.
There is
The
someone.
Packers are the greatest team to ever play the game, even if from time to time they've been a little lame. How could you ever love a team with Jimmy?
Did we ever? No, we didn't. We didn't get a response from folks in the chat. Did anybody else have other people that people wanted to see show up in their own? Okay, I see a video.
How many times must we take this disgrace? Another Bears fan throwing insults in our face. The Packers are the greatest team to ever play the game, even if from time to time they've been a little lame. How could you ever love a team with Jimmy Fan? Not even Porky Pig was as big a him. They got a reputation that's mostly based on luck. The Bears still suck. 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 We really, 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 really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck.
Okay, well, as great as that was, is Dre still with us?
Pickle Bears have always sucked. Oh, man.
Our viewers just.
Yeah, just we just lost everybody. Actually, we got more right now than we've ever had tonight.
How many we got right now?
6.
That is awesome.
Are you not entertained?
Now, this might be getting ready to wrap this up, too. It's unfortunately the 3-day weekend is over.
It is. Sadness
Not
descends
looking
upon us as we must return to the mines.
Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Goodfellas.
sadness.
Awesome
Yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we about to wrap things up then.
I think so. Any last
All right,
comments in the
any
chat?
final thoughts from anybody? Thunderwalker says,
All right.
"Need no escape streaming."
We
said-
shall do this again on next week, right? Are we planning on Sunday?
Yeah, we're definitely planning on Sunday. We'll have
Okay.
the new Obi-Wan to talk about, the boys. First couple episodes. Hopefully we get some more news. We're getting into the thick of things. We're gonna have so much to talk about. We're gonna have to, start streaming more. I actually, hopefully, beginning this week, as for some of you out there, I might start streaming games, superhero games, Star Wars games, to kind of go along with our
Spider-
channel.
Man.
And I was actually thinking about the Avengers and Miss Marvel this week to coincide with the
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel show coming out. I could play Force Unleashed for Obi-Wan. I'm telling
Very cool.
I don't know if anyone has played the Force Unleashed out there. The first Force Unleashed game, the first level you get to play is Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And he is so uber powered. You're just like destroying everything in your path. You're on Kashyyyk, and you're just throwing Wookiees around, and just so much fun.
Terrible Gaming said he can try to get us some free codes.
Oh, nice.
And Goodman Drain wants to know if the Jedi is actually a religion. Kind of,
We
sort
are
of.
building a religion.
So there are a lot of things, at least that people will recognize as spiritual or religious. If you're talking about reality, kinda, in a way, it's just like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Dudist priests that kind of evolved out of the Big Lebowski. It is a quote-unquote religion, and people, they've got a whole book and everything. Same with the Jedi. Back when I was in the military, that was a choice. You could get Jedi put on your name tag if you wanted that as your religion. And they wouldn't say no.
I mean, in the Star Wars universe, it is very much
In the Star Wars universe, yeah. Would you consider it a religion in the Star Wars universe itself?
well, they kind of
Or
worship
is
the
it-
Force. I mean,
Okay. I wasn't sure if they really worshipped it or if it was just more of a or if they saw being a Jedi as more of like chivalry, like a knight kind of thing.
I guess they could.
Or what do you call it? What is it that samurai follow? I cannot think of the word for it, but it's basically the equivalent of chivalry.
Yeah.
And I can wonder, what? Wait, did you not know that? Yeah, that was totally a thing that they would let you do if you wanted to. Yeah, we had people walking around, at least in my unit. Had people that said they were Wiccan. People that and that was because if you claimed that you were Wiccan, you didn't have to go to one of the churches that were on base. You were allowed to go on a nature walk, and that was how you spent your Sunday mornings. So a lot of people claimed to be Wiccan so they could get out of doing any sort of cleanup, but also not be forced to go into a church.
I still remember when I was in boot camp the first Sunday, they said, okay, who here is Catholic? People raise their hand. They're like, okay, you guys go here. Who's Protestant? People raise their hand. Okay, you go here. And then, who's like Jewish? People raise their hand. They're like, who has not raised their hand yet? The drill instructor, as some of you may know from being in the military, right in front of my face, hitting me with the brim of his hat. And what do you think you are? And I'm like, sir, this recruit is agnostic. He's like, what the hell does that mean? Well, it means I believe in a perfect being. I don't think we could comprehend him. And he's like, well, you're going to one. Pick where you're going. I'm like, I guess I'll go to the Protestant one. They sing a lot. And he smirked like he was about to laugh but I was so dumb. I should have picked. I'll go with for the Jewish sermon because it was off base. I didn't know that before I answered. I don't think they would have let me go there. Of course, I don't know about you, but Sunday we were allowed to get a newspaper. The only time we were allowed any sort of outside news or anything like that. And so they didn't monitor who was going to church. So we'd get back from morning chow, and that was like square away time and everything, and go to church, and you had till like 11. And I would just sit and read the Los Angeles Times, every article in there, just to get some semblance of not being in boot camp.
No, I don't think they allowed us to get newspapers, as far as I remember. To my knowledge, at least in my basic training, we didn't have anybody. At least, again, not that I remember, we didn't have anybody that was Jewish. We did have Protestants and Catholics and everything like that, and they had they had facilities that were on post. So I don't remember here of anybody actually being allowed to leave post or being allowed to go anywhere, get a newspaper, get any other sort of news. And if you were not religious, you had to get out your razor and you had to scrape the wax off the floor. That's how you spent your Sunday.
Glad I wasn't in the army for so many reasons.
Yeah. I would trade info for protein bars. Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a big trade culture in the military. Like, what can I give you for this? Yeah.
If you sew